We are live.
I feel alive. I don't really need... I appreciate the affirmation, but I don't require it. My genius has stumped him.
Cast. I'm posting. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi. How are y'all doing? It's podcast day, which was going to be Monday. Sometimes it's Wednesdays. Resident Evil took a while.
It did. It was a big game.
And Kyle got infected with the T virus.
Well, yeah, sort of. I believe that's the tyrant virus that makes you all big and strong. And I felt weak and feeble. So I had one of the shit viruses.
Isn't the T virus also what just makes the normal zombies?
I don't know. I don't actually know.
What we think of as a normal zombie, at least?
I'm pretty sure there's a classification for when you get infected with the good stuff versus the bad stuff. And then wasn't Las Plagas like some organism they found that they mixed with it so it could have like kind of a sentience to it?
I mean, I definitely learned from Resident Evil 1 that there's more to the zombie viruses than I originally thought. like man, I had no idea.
That was a crazy story
about Resident Evil 1. I really didn't. I did not. I thought we would just be hanging out in a mansion, and that was kind of it. And from doing a little bit of reading on differences between the original and the GameCube remake, I believe that the original was a little bit more of just kind of hanging out in a mansion, but Wesker and all that shit still happened. But yeah, there's definitely added stuff in the GameCube remake that ties it more directly to 4, because the GameCube remake came out around the same time as 4, so that makes sense.
What did I save here? Oh geez, it's playing.
Resident Evil has lore. Oh yeah. I'm aware Resident Evil has lore. I wasn't expecting 1 to have so much lore, I guess is my...
Yeah, they did just kind of dive in. But lore is fun. Lore is Prague. I'm just setting up my video overlay. Should we need to show some video of anything we've been up to this week? And lore makes wikis, and wikis are very important for engaging a fan base.
Yes.
You must have deep enough lore to interest all aspects of players. There are many kinds of players in the world.
So many players. Don't hate the player. Hate the wiki's misinformation. Because maybe it was made by Fextra Life or something.
Someone is doing their best. That's all.
It is tough to find non-corporate wikis these days, and it's why I'm thankful for things like, and now I'm worried because I actually don't know who owns them, but I've been playing some Pokemon lately. Thank God for Bulbapedia. It feels like an old website. It feels full of helpful information that isn't laden with too many complete page overlay ads and memory sucking overhauls.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to find out the Bulbapedia is like a fandom website or something.
I will say the Final Fantasy ones are pretty good. It's more that the more detailed rundown, such as what was said during a cutscene or an overall summary, just died off at the end of Shadowbringers. Probably because what happened was Endwalker was coming. They wanted to be spoiler free, so they probably gave it some amount of time until they typed that stuff up, and then probably forgot about it, and no one's updated it since, kind of thing.
As can happen.
As can happen.
I'm gonna boost my brightness just a hair to match you. I also to go a little warmer, which I shouldn't be surprised. I helped you light your room.
Yeah,
so
you made it this warm. I'm also
should have saw that coming.
I'm also a warm man.
We had been talking that we both enjoy the warmth. It wasn't just I didn't come in like an edict and be like, "Bitch, make your room warm." You were like, I kind of like how it looks. I was like, I kind of like how it looks too. We can get some light in the background. I'll make it look even cozier. Yeah.
You're all Team Jacob up in here. I know what you know. I know what you like.
What?
You're Team Jacob. You like the warmth.
You're gonna have to Twilight explain me. I don't.
There's a vampire named Edward, and he's cold to the touch. And Team Jacob is warm to the touch. Because he's, full of blood of his own making that is kept warm by his body.
You know what? Sure. Sure. Between the two actors, I prefer Mr. Edward. Why can't I think of his real name? He's Batman now.
Yes. He's been in a lot of things.
Robert Pattinson.
He's
I quite enjoy that Robert Pattinson.
He's had a career doing other things now.
We finished that. I think I made very brief mention it to you that we have stars for a year for reasons that have come up in the past, and we just went blindly searching through, like, all right, we finished Spartacus, which is a reason we got stars. What else is on here? And we found that show Sweet Pea, which is with the lead from Fallout, Miss Pernell. I actually don't know the pronunciation, but we finished it last night. And where was I going with this? Oh, there's a scene where they go into her childhood bedroom, and there's a Twilight poster on the wall.
Ah, yeah, it really sets the time.
And I turned to Katie and said, "It's really weird for a teenage girl to have a photo of Batman on her bedroom wall." And she just looked at me with the most annoyed, unenthused, like, "How dare you make that joke?"
Was Katie a Twilight fan?
No, she hates Twilight. She thinks it's the lamest shit ever. No, she's a horror fan. She likes real vampire stuff.
Okay. All right.
Made for teenager vampire
Because
stuff.
I think we just need to flip the script. Really, really embarrassed guy. Completely unsocial. While a vampire girl and a werewolf boy or girl fight over him. I think that would sell like hotcakes.
That is Dispatch.
I think
that is just Dispatch. Have you not seen the very, very viral clip?
Social.
Have you not seen the really viral clip of a streamer who I'm unfamiliar with explaining that Dispatch is just Twilight for guys?
No, I haven't.
She's
I'm not
right.
familiar with this.
She's dead. Do you want to do a react right now before we podcast properly?
I think I get the gist of it. Yes, I think I understand.
All right.
But because I disagree on principle. He's very social. I guess he's antisocial in an angry way, not antisocial in a introverted, I can hardly speak kind of way.
I would say that's what's kind of unrealistic about Robert, is that he has all of the telltale signs of an absolute misanthrope, but he is unrealistically affable.
Yeah,
like he's really social. Boy, can that man navigate a conversation, which a man who would live in a room that's Spartan, no, just no.
Yeah, likely left at home by his dad, taken care of by a family friend. Yeah, there's a lot stacked against him, but it had big LA vibes. We're cursing all the time, so maybe that evens out in the end.
Possibly. Yeah, yeah.
Dispatch, good game though. Good game.
Dispatch is a good game. Yeah. I need to do my third. I need to finish my third playthrough. This is what I need to do. I need to finish my first ever Blonde Blazer playthrough, because you made me romance Invisigal, and Katie started to romance Invisigal, and then like an X-wing pulled up at the last second, which leads to a really interesting ending. I highly recommend it.
I stand correct in my choices. I think mostly. It's a complicated game, solid game.
Yes, it's good. It's one of my favorite games of last year, which, like, just getting in under the line, because last year was my favorite game, my favorite year for games in a really long time. I know we keep Final Fantasy 14 out of that conversation a lot, because it's just like it's like the game we're always touching back to. It's like our home game.
Yeah.
And I just never really think about Final Fantasy 14 typically when I talk about my favorite shit of the year. But I would include 14 in that conversation last year, because I had so much fun raiding. It's such a good time doing Savage. I even had a good time just being a what's the word I'm looking for? A spectator of Final Fantasy 14 last year. I really enjoyed the races. Like, it was a good time. It was a good time. So, yep. You can date Blonde Blazer and still get a heroic Invisigal. I did not.
That makes sense. Yeah, you could still influence, her to go to the side of good without kisses.
I'll probably just sit down and look up all the possible endings, because I am curious, and I don't think I want to do a fourth playthrough. I'm about halfway through a third playthrough. So.
Oh yeah, Expedition 33 last year. Yeah,
Expedition 33 and Dispatch
really
just like kind of cemented 2025 as like one of my favorite years in gaming of all time. It goes up in the upper echelon with 1998. Like, just get up in there, do it. I'd have to think about 2010s and early aughts.
To really compare them up, yeah.
Because in my head, I'm like, I think Rock Band 2 and Halo 3 were the same year, and that was also one of my favorite years, but I don't know if that's accurate. They may have been.
What year was Wii Super Smash Bros? That was 2000.
Smash Brawl?
Yeah, that was 2008.
2008. When was Rock Band 2?
What year was that? Or what month was that, though?
Also 2008. Okay, 2008 is coming in. Halo 3 release date. 2007. Halo 3 just missing. Well, not quite just missing. September's still pretty firmly in 2007, but
yeah, the Wii dominated. Oh my god. Also, Grand Theft Auto 4, Call of Duty World at War. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I do not care for GTA 4. It is probably my least favorite GTA that isn't like a top-down. I really don't care for the top-down GTAs. But
I feel like the protagonist got a lot of love in the long run.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the story I didn't like. I didn't like playing it. I hated I think it has the worst driving of any Grand Theft Auto game, and considering Grand Theft Auto is a lot of driving, it really bothered me.
Yeah,
the driving physics made me angry in that game.
Not a lot. I mean, we just kind of dominated with Wii Fit and Mario Kart and all that, so not a lot that year.
Yeah, exactly, Kem. Yeah. The story of 4 is great. I don't care for the driving. There's mods for the drive. Yeah, I back in that day, I mean, I had 2 nickels to rub together. So the one copy in the household was shared between me and all my roommates. So I played it on a console. That was it. That's all I had.
I think you got to be pretty deeply enfranchised to a game to get involved in modding in the first place.
Yeah.
Like I feel in my soul that it is. I agree that it's like dismissive to be like, I don't want to install mods. Like it actually could fix the game. It could make it better. Oh, well, World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King was 2008.
Okay, 2008
November 8th.
Is another one of my favorite gaming years of all time.
Persona 4.
Chrono Trigger? What version of Chrono Trigger?
DS apparently.
Oh,
yeah, there was a DS.
That would have been pretty hype.
Wait, Fallout 3 was 2008?
Portal was 2000. Yeah. Holy shit! Left 4 Dead, Dead Space. Yeah. All right, 2008.
Yeah, 2008 was sick.
2008 is it. 2008 is freaking it, man. Holy shit.
Spore. Well, this is Spore Origins. What was Spore Origins? Oh, it's some sort of mobile game or something.
No, nobody even likes Spore, man. I know you like Spore. I'm not trying.
I loved parts of Spore, and I got my money's worth. I didn't love it. Like overall product was rough.
Yes. Spore. I'm just trying to get to like the point of like, I don't think many people would back you up on Spore. Not that your feelings are invalid.
There was a Max Payne live action movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Doesn't that sound like shit?
It does. I don't auto hate on the Wahlberg, but that just like that's a really weird thing to even bother making a movie of.
I think there's only two things with Mark Wahlberg that I don't actively despise, and it's The Departed and Ted. And other than that, I'm just like, how do we end up in a world where this man is famous? Because I just don't think he's a very good actor. But that's me.
It's got to be something.
It's okay if you like the Wahlberg. Got to be something earlier. I mean, a lot of people like his movie with Will Ferrell. I don't care for it.
Guess he was in Entourage.
He's in a ton of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
You like I Heart Huckabees? That sounds so familiar, but I don't think I've seen that.
Boogie Nights.
You ever pull a fabric softening sheet out of clothes that you're actually wearing on your body?
No, I don't use those. No.
Oh, really?
No, that is.
I used to think they were complete like black magic. Well, not black, snake oil. I used to think they were complete snake oil. And then, Katie was a fan. And then like one time I did laundry while she was gone. And I was like, my clothes feel like shit. So now I use them.
Well, no.
Yeah.
A fine way to save money. Daddy's Home. Yeah. I honestly haven't seen a lot of these. I've seen I haven't even seen his Transformers. I've just seen all the clips that make them look bad. Okay, yeah, I'm not even sure I've sat through a whole Wahlberg movie, to be perfectly honest.
I would rather watch Shia LaBeouf get arrested in New Orleans than watch Marky Mark star in a Transformers movie.
Oh, Planet of the Apes. I saw all of Planet of the Apes in theaters. There we go. 2001.
Was that the Tim Burton one?
Yes.
Oh boy.
With Clark Duncan and Helen Bonham Carter.
Helen Bonham Carter is assumed when you say Tim Burton.
Was it actually directed? Yeah, directed by Tim Burton. That is probably the least Tim Burton looking movie outside of Grayscale that I can think of.
I miss when Tim Burton movies didn't look like Tim Burton movies.
Yeah, he went a little heavy on the old computer graphics.
Because I would also say like I really like his Sleepy Hollow. Like there's moments in it where it looks like a Tim Burton movie.
I love Sleepy Hollow,
but it's not hitting you over the head with the fact that it's a Tim Burton movie. I really enjoy his Sleepy Hollow. That's a good time. I haven't watched that in a while. I should do that. I should freaking do that. What year did Advent Children come out again?
That was definitely before 2005.
No, because we were in college.
It
was exactly 2005.
Oh, Advent. I was thinking of Spirits Within. Yeah. Advent Children was definitely a college watch.
Yeah, Advent Children came out because that was the first year I ever went to a major convention. I went to what is now our shared local con, MegaCon, Kyle. That was the first con I ever went to. And because of Advent Children, holy shit, the Final Fantasy VII cosplays were copious. They were everywhere.
I do like that a lot of conventions are starting to vet their vendors. Not all of them are doing it yet, but it seems like we're making good progress there.
Yeah. A lot of them are having like no AI goods.
No
clauses,
AI goods,
and
no drop shipping.
I've seen there's been a lot of stories out of a bunch of cons, none out of Florida locally that I'm aware of, but from higher like cons of larger note. I've seen stories coming out where they've actually like asked vendors to leave that, came in under false pretenses, promised they didn't have AI stuff, yada yada yada. And yeah, it's nice. It sucks for them that they have to do that extra work, but I'm glad they're trying.
I want handmade goods. I want things that I can't find on the internet when I pay a ticket to enter a mall.
I don't necessarily want handmade goods, but I want rare goods. I want stuff that's hard to find. And that horror convention that we've gone to for a couple of years in Tampa has been good. We found some like weird, hard to find like Gremlins memorabilia and stuff like that. That's nice. Their movie posters are horribly expensive. I would not recommend purchasing movie posters at a con. But yeah, it's going all right. Well, you want a podcast?
Yes, let us do that. Let us podcast.
Yeah, it's time for the Grinding Gear podcast, everybody. Happy Wednesday, as we are in the middle of our every Final Fantasy spring break. We'll be getting back to every Final Fantasy on March 31st. In the meantime, we just finished Resident Evil 1, like the actual Resident Evil 1, but the GameCube remake of it. And tomorrow, at the time of recording this, we will be starting Metal Gear Solid, and we will be playing it on a PS1 with a honest-to-God authentic disc that I hunted down on eBay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned that on yesterday's stream, and immediately someone from the EU sent me the EU cover and was like, look at how much cooler this is than the one you just bought. And you know what, Kyle? They were right. The EU got a much cooler...
what's that like?
Maybe it was UK. Okay, maybe UK. I don't know. Europe land. Across the pond, they got like full illustrative artwork for the cover of MGS, and we got just white with a logo.
Because
that was you, Domino. You were right. It looks cooler.
Because he had
I'm with you.
Gun. What's the issue? Why were we denied this?
Well, one just has awesome art. Why we were? I don't know.
Yeah, like what?
I mean, I think the logo reads better on a white background, and to me, that is very classic, like Sony, probably also thinking about like some Final Fantasy covers, even though Final Fantasy VII on the PS1 did not have a logo on white cover. But when I do think about just a logo on a white background, I do tend to think of Final Fantasy because they've done a lot of releases that look like that.
Does draw the eye after all.
Yeah.
I like anyway, square. The disc didn't become oval, so I don't know why we went rectangular. I kind of miss the squares.
Oh, just like a CD jewel case,
the jewel
case, your game box.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't plan for this, but we're gonna have this conversation right now. What's your favorite game box of all time? Not the art, but like the thing your game came in. What was your favorite of all time?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Do you have one off the top of your head?
I would probably go with Sega Genesis because those things were unkillable. They were hard plastic clamshells. The cartridges snapped in a really satisfying way. They had unbreakable clips that the manual would slide into. And the art just straight up, it looked nice. It looked nice. And they had that textured like Blockbuster plastic that the slipcover went in behind. They're anytime I pick up a Genesis box, I get so wistful it hurts. I get snapped back to my idle childhood.
I think PlayStation 3 did pretty good because they usually had alternative art on the flip around cover. So, if you folded the box backwards and opened up the plastic, you could pull out what was the picture, flip it upside down and put it back in.
Yeah, I do like that.
Decent.
They still do that from time to time. The most recent one I can think of is the Spider-Man 2 game. Has like a complete logo-free wraparound, like full art spread. If you flip the label around, it looks really nice. The first one of those I remember was 360, and it was Mass Effect, I think 3. You could flip it and have FemShep.
Oh, that's classy. That's good right there.
Yeah, I agree. And I even though I didn't play as FemShep, I flipped it because I'm like, it just looks cooler. Male Shep is a bit G.I. Joe. He's a bit boring looking.
But he's
red hair looks cool on FemShep.
He's more handsome than anything you can possibly make in the character creator. So that's why we played as him. Because we made a custom character and then went, shit, this sucks.
I forgot that you played as standard male Shep.
I didn't actually. I played as, for some reason, Mass Effect never wanted to give you chin hair. You could get a chin strap that died and went into a mustache. It's not
a handlebar.
Not mutton chop. No, this is like gone. Like this is the middle bit.
Handlebar. Handlebar mustache.
Is? I thought a handlebar was like a cowboy.
A handlebar is a goatee with no chin.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that's like military approved or something like that, but that's what you could get, and it was super lame. But
he's based off of a Swiss model. I did not know that.
Yeah, well, he's a real guy. Have you? I feel like, oh man, it's my turn. You didn't know that? Holy shit! Yeah, he's just a guy.
No, I had no idea.
It's really unnerving.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm googling it now. By all means, if you can find it. Let's see. A male shepherd IRL model. Oh my god!
Yeah. He was just a dude.
This dude. That's just Commander Shepard.
Yeah, it was kind of like when you found out Star Killer was just a guy too. That was kind of weird. Well,
that didn't weird me out as much. Well, maybe I've just known it for so long that it didn't freak me. At the time, I think that might have been the first time I ever I was like, whoa, you just like based a game character on a real life actor?
It really bothered me in The Mist because he was like one of the military guys that shows up at the convenience store.
Shepard?
No, the Star Killer guy.
Star Killer.
Star Killer, yeah. He's in that movie for a hot moment before I think he gets obliterated.
That's Sam Witwer. I really like him, but he has such an insanely recognizable face. Like if Twin Peaks were made today, I feel like he would make a decent Dale Cooper. You haven't watched Twin Peaks. Sorry. My apologies.
I assume that's the main guy, the way you dropped his name.
I mean, there's a lot of main guys. Twin Peaks is an ensemble cast. I think
the Dune dude. The Dune guy.
Yes, the Dune guy. You would know Kyle MacLachlan from Dune is what you would know him from. I know him from Twin Peaks. But he's also in the Fallout show, if you haven't watched it, and he's really good in that.
I think not.
Most people would probably know him from Blue Velvet, but depends on the circles that you swim in, the lakes that you swim in. Femme Chef is best chef. Jennifer Hale is awesome. I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, we're just stating obvious statements here.
I'm trying to remember the first time I ever rolled a female character. Because for a really long time, I just always made a guy if I could make my own character.
Draenei for sure. I did not want to be that thing.
It might honestly be the same, man. Yeah, I remember being really excited for male Draenei because they look so sick in the cinematics for Warcraft. They look amazing.
Yeah,
but the second you roll one and you start running, their run cycle is I legitimately think the male Draenei run cycle is the worst single animation in all of World of Warcraft. It's such a prance. It is rough. Destroys any sense of adventure. I cannot stand it.
I think that maybe is how a blueberry with hooves would move. But yeah, they look so sick in that BC opening cinematic where he slams the book closed and they got those tentacle beards going on and all that. Yeah, they're sick.
That's good shit. Yeah, they're really rad, and I cannot play them. Nope. Female Draenei all day.
Yeah,
all day, every day. So yeah, it might have been female Draenei. Yeah.
Hey, we can talk about that more when we get to Crimson Desert today.
Crimson all the way to Crimson Desert. We got quite a bit of stuff going on. We got a lot of Pokemon announcements and Pokemon nostalgia. We got Crimson Desert hype reaching fever pitch. We've got a funeral to hold for Highguard. A funeral to hold for anyone who doesn't do well with scary games because of Resident Evil 9. We got some stuff to talk about today. I also pulled a question from the questions channel, and feel free to drop a few more in there, folks. If you're supporting us anywhere and you're in the members only channels of the Discord, go ahead and drop a question and ask the host. I'll pull from there, and we'll also keep an eye on Twitch and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, before we get into it, speaking of those members channels, check out our Patreon over at supportourbromance.com. It is the number one way to support Kyle and myself. It's a new month, so please go and double check that your payment info is up to date. Noticed a new round of declines, which typically just means you got a new card or something like that happen. So go give it a peek. And if you're not supporting us, but maybe you watch or listen to us a lot, check it out. Supportourbromance.com. We would appreciate the support. It's not required. It's a terrible business model, but if you'd like to opt in and support the two of us, check it out. Supportourbromance.com. It'll take you to our Patreon. But let's get into this week's news.
Good. Oh, great news, everyone. Shove it.
All right, off the top of the you know what?
You gonna reorder?
You don't come and do a thing.
All right,
you want good news first, or you want bad news first?
Let's do. Let's do a poll. It's been a full week, everybody.
You want to do a poll?
Good news.
You want to do it on YouTube?
Bad news.
Okay. Are you doing it?
Yeah, I got it. I got you. What do you want first? Right. What do you want first, chat?
Chat. What do you want?
Because I'm running it on YouTube. Really, I don't have a particular order of these things that I have to attack.
Yeah. I'm usually a bad news first type person, just in general. Yeah.
They don't pertain to each other either. So that's important.
No. These are all
because if I was in a
these are all
Terminator Kyle Reese scenario, I would say give me the good news first because it's probably tactically important to what I'm about to hear with the bad news. But no, this is just news. Bad news first. Bad news first.
All right. Highguard. Highguard is the bad news first.
Okay.
Easily. And then there's one story in here I think we need to make a call on. I think the game for the Sony news will be we got to decide if it was good news or bad news. But we'll talk about it when we get there. But all right, bad news first. Highguard. It's going away. They're shutting it down in a week. In 8 days. March 12th. They're taking it offline. Which made me go and make the Highguard timeline, Kyle.
The Highguard timeline. I
sat down this morning with my coffee, and I made the the Death of Highguard timeline,
Holy
which apparently
shit.
begins in 2021 with the founding of Wildlight Entertainment, the studio that made Highguard.
Okay. So wait, they worked on this game for a long time.
They did.
That sucks.
It does suck. Yeah.
Allow me to lead this conversation with, boy, that sucks. I feel an eerie. I just feel weird about this whole thing. Like I know I'm responsible, but also I'm clearly not. I didn't make executive choices. I did not speed up what was a actual roadmap they posted. I just simply wasn't interested in their product.
Yeah. Yes, I felt the same. I was pretty harsh during the Game Awards. I'm not gonna lie, and I didn't even really mean to. It was just, all right, knee jerk reaction. Oh boy, I don't like anything I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's particularly weird post was it like a letter or an interview with one of the devs where they essentially blamed modern gaming culture.
Yes.
And listen, they're entitled to that. Like, this sucks. This is probably a big dream for most of the folks that worked on this game. And I'm sure it absolutely sucks ass, not only to fail, but to fail while getting publicly drug through the mud by a lot of people on Maine.
Yeah.
All of that kind of sucks. And I can completely understand how you would just be like, F this, even though that's me surmising. That's not actually what they said.
It's an interesting timeline, and I do want to talk about that. So let's use the timeline you'd made, and we'll talk about that when we get to those dates.
Cool. Well, as we all know, late 2025, Highguard was announced, and not only just announced, but it was announced by closing out the Game Awards. It was the big final reveal of the Game Awards with a lot of pomp, circumstance, and kind words from Jeff Keighley. And then came early 2026, which we are technically still in at the time of Highguard announcing its imminent demise. But I would categorize early 2026 as skepticism reaching an all-time high, because Wildlight wasn't saying anything about Highguard with release just weeks away. It launched in late January. It about 2 months from announcement to release, and there was just nothing after the Game Awards, which was bizarre. We found out after the fact that they were hoping to kind of shadow drop it, and things didn't pan out because of desires of funders like Tencent, and also enthusiasm from Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, and that's where it gets really muddied, right? Like, a lot of people looking at it as a I don't even know if you want to call it like a millennial business decision, but as a hopeful decision made by our peers of age. They got money from Tencent, and they ran away and did
I like
with
your
it.
extremely southern Tencent pronunciation.
Tencent. You know, Tencent.
You got that damn
there.
Tencent. I didn't know that you could say Tencent in a way that sounds kind of offensive, but you found a way.
And they got like a bunch of money, and they made what they wanted out of it. Like, that's really cool. There was very little oversight as far as we are aware. But then they were hoping for a shadow drop, and it seems like some executives somewhere in the pipeline said, no, we're going for big. We want this to be the big Game Awards announcement.
Yeah. January 26th, it released. Concurrent players peaked around 100,000. The next day, those numbers dropped to 5,000 to 10,000. Next 2 days. Within 48 hours, it seemed like 90% of the player base had fallen off. January 30th, everyone starts running with those stories. None of this is to even talk about everything happening on social media. Then we get to February 11th, which is where I believe the estimate is that around 90% of the staff was laid off.
Right. I believe it was a 100-man team. So
yeah. Yeah, and I don't believe Wildlight put out a press release saying this is exactly how many people will be fired, but from folks on social media, LinkedIn sleuthing, all those kinds of things, the team was estimated to be around 100-person team, and then go down to just barely over double-digit team on that day. Time goes by, and then on February 17th, this was particularly bizarre way to learn things. It's when reports came out that Tencent pulled funding, and it's also when everyone else learned that Tencent even funded this game in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years of fully funded.
Yep. And then yesterday is when we got the news that Highguard will be permanently shut down on March 12th. So we're doing less than 2 full months.
Let me see if I can get up that roadmap they had. I mean, it wasn't spectacular by any means. I believe the word surprise was on there, so it wasn't eliciting a lot of confidence.
Are you about to make a? I'm sorry, I thought you were about to say, who knew the surprise was them killing the game?
No, because that's in episode 7. We're playing for December, right? Like, one of their big things about the Shadow Drop idea that we have heard is that it was going to release like Apex Legends. It's out now. Go play it. They were going to fund a bunch of major streamers to play the thing. They were going to collect feedback and then change the game. And one of those easy nozzles that they had to turn off and on was how many players there are. Which they did. They did make it up to 5. Everyone's like, thank you. It finally feels filled out. From my other shooting games, I have this certain amount of friends, and so you need to kind of match or go beyond that number in order to me to even transition over to your game. But their particular roadmap went to December, and that whole idea of the Shadow Drop was we are going to work to have all this content so that we can spend the entire year being reactionary and give players what they want out of the game after they try it. We can balance to our full degree. We can update things like player count, location, actual order of the map. Maybe add in that weird building thing that kind of exists with wall destruction and reinforcing walls, but seems like it was supposed to be bigger. And the coding even says like there was once kind of like a Fortnite-y building thing in there, if you want to call it that. So it's really weird, not only to say, hey, we're cutting costs drastically by getting rid of 90% of our people. We're not even going to even bother going to December. Like that. I think this is where it's starting to feel dirty, and it's starting to feel a little personal, like we did it. And it is having a good reaction. Like the whole Concord 2 and now Concord 3 thing that's happening with Marathon, that is being walked back a lot. Like a lot of people are saying, let's not. This time, I don't know if Marathon's better necessarily. A lot of people are playing it right now and kind of going, I think I'm just going to go play my comfort game.
The kindest thing I can say about Marathon, because I don't need another one of these, is that it at least looks cool. Like I like the look of Marathon. It is not going to be for everyone, but at least they're not aping the same kind of pseudo Overwatch look all over again. Like I think it looks neat, and to me, Bungie makes the best feeling shooting. I really like how a Bungie shooter feels, so I'm sure the shooting will feel great. I'm just not. It's not what I want. Like I want some big, weird Bungie campaign, man. My favorite shit from Bungie are their campaigns. Those original Halo campaigns, everything to come out of 3, like the trilogy of Bungie Halo 3 games, because they made 3 Halo 3 games. They were all just a really freaking good time, and I've always been really interested in Marathon as someone who didn't grow up with a Macintosh, so I couldn't play the damn thing. But like, yeah, I don't know. I was kind of hoping it's not what I would want, and I have to assume it's not what lifelong Marathon fans want. But I don't know. I only have like one friend in my life who grew up with Marathon, and he's actually pretty freaking stoked for it. So who am I to judge? To
use a Final Fantasy 14 analogy, like, I don't think it matters. if you've played the other game, I didn't know it existed, and the look and feel of the game still is slightly titillating. Like I said, it is like, particularly when you see like the blue blood spread across the ground and kind of those mini stories that evolve over the course of a light PvP, PvE kind of experience they're going for. I have heard from the outside that it is way more PvP oriented. Like, people are way more aggressive than they are in Arc Raiders, for instance. But this is also the beginning. You're getting like streamers in there. You're doing, stress tests, and people are going to be a bit more gung-ho to make their mark.
And listen, Halo PvP fans are still very much out there. I think they're still very hungry. And hell, a lot of them still just play Halo 2. But so that doesn't surprise me to hear. I think if you're a fan of how Bungie does shooters, there's a massive. I want to say microcosm, but I think most people are active as still existing Bungie fans on any sort of online community. There's a good chance it's because of Halo PvP. So if they're showing up to something like Marathon, they probably want to get their blood gulch on. So that doesn't surprise me. On top of the fact that we've talked about multiple times that like folks like the devs over at Arc Raiders have talked about the people being peaceful was a surprise to them. They've actually made adjustments around that type of play style. I say, as someone who has not been shot at in Arc Raiders in 2 weeks, and last night someone just blew my head off out of nowhere and legitimately scared the shit out of me. I was not expecting it because I have just not PvP'd in that game in weeks.
I think
it still happens.
One of the most interesting things I heard about Highguard was that it was too balanced and it was too concerned about fairness to be interesting.
And I never waded into those waters.
I think it's a fascinating like game design conversation of essentially they really wanted to make a game that felt like you were properly winning and you weren't randomly getting hit from the side, which is why the party size was so small, because you could know exactly where 3 people were at all times. You never got sniped from some bizarre angle and all that chaos. It's kind of like when you get really good at a game and then you go back and play Mario Kart and there's just all this random bullshit. Like, as a kid, I don't even know if this was part of Mario 64. I think it was, where you'd get better items if you were in the back.
Oh, yeah, most Mario Kart. I want to say all, but I don't know if that's true beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, that's hot bullshit when you're good. Because I have played with like my brother-in-law who sits in the back the entire game and then will, lightning spam his way to victory in the final lap by making sure he's strategically always in the best item slot on his little motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why if I take the lead, I usually hold on to the items that I had before I took the lead.
and so the game they made was so intensely fair that it was boring. I think StarCraft's one of the best examples of this because you have such wildly different units that there's no way it can be perfectly fair. And something they did during their development of Highguard was said, wait a minute, if people stack 2 of the same hero ability, it's going to be OP. Okay, so you can only have 1 of each hero on a team. And again, you restrict and you make a more fair game for people who already know the rules, but you continue to obscure the rules the deeper you go. And you end up something more like a bad old Nintendo game where only the devs know how to beat it. And it's completely insane rule sets for anybody coming in for their first time.
Yeah, I never got that deep because I was just plain not interested. So to me, this is just more of a trend of. I don't entirely agree with the comparison to Concord. I still think Concord is a monumental, like historical level failure to launch. Technically they launched, but you know what I mean. You turn a phrase because that was like that had Sony money behind it, man. That had Sony marketing behind it. They freaking had a short, like they had a TV show short in that anthology series, Secret Level, for crying out loud. And it lasted a third as long as Highguard. I had to go look it up because I saw people memeing in chat. They were like, it's hey, at least it's like 3 Concords, and they're right. Concord was only up for 2 weeks, dude.
We don't know if people are getting their skin money back though. Like Highguard was free to play, so there was a refund process that happened relatively quickly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's having this weird effect where I go. First off, like, what are we doing? We're measuring literal weeks of a game being alive. If you're, they're both of these they're just sad stories. I feel bad for the developers, but I was also not moved to play either of them. But I look at Concord. I'm like, at least you looked unique. I didn't necessarily love how it looked, but it didn't. And to me, Highguard just like it looked like more of the same. Like they were going for this kind of clean, sort of cartoony look that they didn't fully lean into. And I think we're all very confused as to what it was. Would it have done better as a shadow drop? Maybe a little bit, but I mean, that drop off is massive. The drop off is a drop off. Like it wouldn't have mattered if it grabbed people.
There are so many cool ideas in there, like like the siege breaker and all that, and having to get through walls and having to do a thing to get in it. I love laser tag. I love steal the bacon. I love capture the flag. Like all these games I played when I was younger, and
we really need to do a paintball day, you and me.
The woods in New Mexico. I'm sure I probably love that too. Like I love that sort of go in the jail and wait till someone tags to get you out kind of atmosphere. Yeah. And there's so much about it that is very dismissive on the style. So I at least we can say, and I hope we can say, that Highguard ends up being the sacrificial lamb that just lets us go straight to mixed review at the end of the day. Like there was no need for overwhelmingly negative. There was no need for all the Jeff Keighley lied to me kind of madness that happened. It should have just been, it should have been just a resounding meh from the gamer public, and we moved on.
Yeah.
And I do think Marathon's going to benefit from this immensely.
I don't know if it'll immensely, because that's kind of my whole point with this thing. Is like I agree that like I was part of the problem. Like I agree that this game just kind of looked devoid of anything I wanted, and apparently I found myself amongst the masses, which for me always kind of concerns me. I don't know. I always make fun of you for being a hipster. I totally have hipster qualities as well. I don't like being like 100% on the popular side of things, but. Like we didn't need to be so damn. We didn't be so damn mean about it. I guess is at the end of the day, because like it still just sucks. Like whatever your opinion is of hero shooters, which this even was trying it to be its own thing, and it tried to be different. But whatever your opinion is of that, whatever your opinion is of being funded or not funded by Tencent, like whatever your opinion is of Jeff Keighley and what he gets hyped about. None of it really matters for a live service game. Live service games are going to just live or die based on whether they grab players or not.
I'm really sympathetic to that too. Like, imagine I'm in charge of the Game Awards, and let's say there's no money involved. It was actually Jeff Keighley. Like, what? I get up there and I'm like, and here it is, the game of next year. And it's just he's coming or something like that. Some freaking retro card-based deck builder whatever thing. And everyone just goes and destroys some poor guy who's been working on it for 7 years straight, making his own music for it. Like, shit. Oh, no, my personal preferences.
Yeah. 110 freaking percent, man. Like, yeah, that's... You're not going to feel good about most games if you follow the money, is kind of my point. There are some exceptions. I think that's why a lot of us lean towards Valve or lean towards Nintendo. There's other examples out there, but like, I don't know. I personally don't turn my nose up at Tencent anymore, and I turn my nose up at choose your megacorp, which is becoming even more blurred as there's more and more purchases, and now we have a lot of Saudi Arabian money in gaming, and it's just getting more complicated every day. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a personal knife out for Tencent any more than anyone else.
But what's our good news?
Well, first off, let's do our not sure about it news.
Okay, not sure about it news.
Tell me if you think this is good news or
sure
bad.
as shit might be news.
Oh, it's news. I don't know if it's good or bad. Sony pulls back from PlayStation games on PC. How do you feel about this, Kyle? This was a
Bloomberg.
credible rumor last week, and now today confirmed. Got a Jason Schreier article on Bloomberg. How do you feel about Sony getting out of the PC port game?
So I actually do have a rather mixed opinion about this because of Pokemon right now. Because I don't want to Switch 2. I don't need a Switch 2. I'm fine without one. But Pokopia is rated from like ages 5 to 10. Probably something like 5 to 99, and all the 100-year-olds are like,
Pokemon really should adopt the Lego age range, because the earliest of us are in our 40s that grew up with Pokemon. And a lot of us still love Pokemon.
And you know, like your Stardew Valleys and your Harvest whatevers, like those have some tougher elements, just whether it's story-wise or mechanics-wise, for a kid to play. And I think Pokopia is like perfect for my 6-year-old. And I'm just looking at this thing being like, holy shit, I totally want to play this with him. Maybe if I get hooked, I can take over.
I think Pokopia looks really good too. And it was like not even on my radar, but I've watched a couple reviews of it already. And I'm just like, it just looks good. Like, there's really no other way to get around it. And I'm having a similar concern. We already have a Switch 2. My problem is, I'm pretty sure Katie would like it, and I would like to play it with her. I don't want to buy a second Switch 2. So, anyway, are you just thinking about console exclusivity?
Exactly.
And so Sony no longer porting games to PC is making you think of Pokopia.
So I'm so biased. I'm entered this conversation unable to drop the fact that I own a PlayStation 5, and I just kind of go, okay, do whatever you want. I understand the store fee, dealing with Patreon and hearing about Steam news all the time. I know how much that store fee adds up and can be a huge part of your overall revenue, woo-woo corporations, whatever. Like it's an important part of the money they make and the money they lose when they're selling a video game and you're hosting a video game. And if you're indie, deciding where to host your video game, that is a huge factor, 30% And so if PlayStation wants to go, oh man, I'm just going to PlayStation, that's convenient for me. Sure, why not? I already own your PS5, and it's how I prefer to play in the evening. For very unobscure reasons, I play in this room at night. I just don't want 2 screens to turn on when I want 1. I have 3 screens, and when I sit down for the night, I don't want to see 2 other screens on.
Okay, I've reached maximum disagree, because I also have a PS5, and I think this sucks ass, because I think the performance of a lot of games on the PS5 sucks ass. I think a lot of the games that have been forced PS5 exclusive, and I'm not even talking about like dyed-in-the-wool Sony games. I'm particularly looking at you, Final Fantasy 16, Square. You don't even need to do this nonsense, but you do. We still have to wait forever for Final Fantasy 16 on PC. Final Fantasy 16 ran like shit on PS5. Compared to PC, the PS5 version of Final Fantasy 16 is the far and away inferior way to play that game. So this annoys me. I think this is shite news. I understand the business reasons that you brought up. Your personal, I don't want extra screens to turn on. Kyle, we've been talking lately, and I think you could solve that issue with a TV in the bedroom, because the TV is only 1 screen.
Sure.
And
you could. But think of the optics.
I'm just going to keep teasing you about
Think of the optics, man. My kids go to bed seeing me read a book, and then I put the book away and I go play video games. But there's no TV in the bedroom, and I'm reading a book. I am making an example. I'm a liar, but I make an example. Actually, I am making my way through books, so I'm I am actually reading. I'm not faking reading. I don't have a tablet inside the book pretending I'm reading. I'm actually reading a book. Anyway, I that is fair, and I think that your eyes just have a higher frame rate than mine, and I watch anime on a phone. Like, I do not care a lot of the time, but I agree with you. However, I also hear that a lot of games, like, wasn't it like Monster Hunter Wild and shit, ran better on PlayStation than it did in PC, and there's all these port issues that I've been having.
It depends on the PC. You and I were lucky enough to have upgraded our PCs like a few months in advance of Monster Hunter Wilds coming out. And while it certainly wasn't optimized, like if I looked at what it was doing to what my PC could do, CPU, video card, memory wise, it was taxing the living shit out of my system, but it was powerful enough to run it, and Wilds seemed fine. But that wasn't the case for most people. To me, that's an argument of optimization, not necessarily. The ask for the average person to have that good experience is relatively high for the cost of PC. And the same was true of Final Fantasy 16. You needed a pretty powerful PC for it to outperform the PS5.
And there's
the variable frame rate during cutscenes of Final Fantasy 16 drove me fucking nuts.
Well, and there's where we reach kind of the Venn diagram, and in the middle is I just want to play games, and on both sides are these just kind of horrible deals you have to make. Is it kind of fun picking out which console you're going to invest in? I guess, but I'd rather it's all just available everywhere. I don't want to buy a Switch 2 right now for a game that I don't think looks like it needs a Switch 2 to run in the first place. But, you know, them's the breaks. That's how they sell their consoles. And if they're seeing reduced console sales, that doesn't seem to be the case here. It seems to be more about getting that 30% back.
Switch 2 has been selling great.
I'm talking about
which I have to keep reminding myself to. Oh, on PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I mean, exclusivity is exclusivity. And in general, emotional thought, Kyle. Seems like a lot more people are totally fine with Nintendo exclusivity, but suddenly Sony wants to go back to exclusivity and everybody's mad. I agree with those people. Well, to me, it's part of why I am just so bummed with the what feels like the elaborate plane crash that is Microsoft and Xbox right now, because I really liked how they were kind of pushing us into this platform agnostic future that it felt like Sony felt like they had to respond to. And now that they're kind of crashing and burning, I also think Sony kind of feels like, yeah, okay, cool. We don't need to worry about this anymore because everyone's getting out of the Xbox ecosystem. Who cares?
Right. Win point, we tried. Loser point, you flip-flopped, and it feels bad. And Nintendo never did that, so they get props for always being exclusive, and you were never confused about the message. And but that's listen, you know, and I want to be congratulated just like someone who quitted smoking because I never started in the first place. That's not the way the world works. I just want a 5-minute break during my damn retail job to go outside and stand there, right?
If you're gonna give Sony shit for going back to exclusivity, you should always be giving Nintendo shit, and you should have been giving them shit this entire time.
So I would rather have this happen than Sony announce their own launcher, to be perfectly honest.
But
because I own
you're such a phone watcher.
I own like 2 games on the Epic Store, and I regret both of them. Like, it's such ass. It's such a hassle. Oh, my Epic Store. Let me log
Okay,
in.
I was on the opposite end of the table from you. I am now on the love seat next to you, my friend. I'm with you. I don't want another. I don't want another launcher. Let's cuddle. Let's go. Let's freaking do it.
At least I changed locations or back the hell up when I sit down my PlayStation.
I will absolutely give you that. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I probably wouldn't care as much if this gets a little wider, but I think we're heading toward a future where we're going, if we even get single player games at all, and I do think, at least in the term of like what we have thought of for the last decade and a half as a AAA game, as a AAA single player game, Sony has been the poster child of that experience. They have been like keeping that dream alive because Microsoft has been kind of squandering it. And when they do release a big AAA game that has a massive single player campaign, it hasn't been particularly well received. Take a look at Halo Infinite, which I enjoyed, but it wasn't amazing. It wouldn't make my top 3 favorite Halo games. And then, you know, Nintendo kind of, they're on their own level. They don't have the hardware to push things. If fidelity is even important to you, it is and it isn't for me. It kind of depends on the product. If you're going for something that is supposed to be high fidelity, then I get mad when it doesn't run well. If you want something to, you know, look a little more stylized where graphics aren't as important, yeah, I'm totally happy with my Nintendo hardware. But my point being, Sony's kind of like it, because it's like it's not what's popular. It's not where the money's going. It's not where the funding, and it's not where the trend chasing is going on. But Sony's also responsible for some of the biggest flops in trend chasing, because in this mad dash for land grabbing games as a service cache, they ended up with Concord. They had other like smaller surprise hits like Helldivers, but they also had like the poster child of games as a service fatigue, Concord. So what I'm trying to say is I really like AAA single player games. There are not enough of them coming out for a lot of different factors. They're not the most popular thing anymore. They're expensive to make. If you want them to be extremely high fidelity, they take forever to make. We're playing retro Final Fantasy games right now, and Final Fantasy IV to Final Fantasy V was 1 year. It was 1 year between mainline Final Fantasy games. That is never going to happen again unless everything that's going on with the memory crisis and all that kind of stuff just causes some kind of bizarre shift. And so I think this news for me would have gone down easier if I saw any sort of shift or response to the memory crisis. And then they were like, and we're going back to Sony exclusives. So I'm like, cool. Well, then I don't care that the PS5 is already kind of old. And if we weren't dealing with the memory crisis, we would be looking forward to the announcement of the PS6 and already be kind of on that road to the next console from PlayStation. But it seems like it's going to be a longer wait than usual. So like, I don't know, if they were putting out more like first party Sony games more often, and I was getting a few more experiences I could enjoy by myself that weren't hero shooters or extraction shooters or Fortnite competitors or another voxel release or a new way to play Roblox, yeah, then I'd be like, sure, whatever, cool, you know, because I can live with this console for a while, and since we're not chasing Naughty Dog fidelity, the games will run just fine. But I'm not seeing that out of Sony. I'm seeing that out of indies, and most indies are not going to be Sony exclusive. So this just kind of annoys me because I like their big AAA games, and now I won't be able to play them at 120 hertz, which I do enjoy because they're horribly pretty games that really push graphics to the limit.
Yeah, how weird is it just be like, well, their ports were good anyway. Well, maybe the ports could have been better. Maybe that would have helped if you sold more copies on Steam because everyone liked your port in the first place.
Yeah. TLDR, not having console exclusivity is pro-consumer. I will always feel that way. So I can't look at this as any other way than being anti-consumer, even as someone who has a PS5.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors. We brought up solo games. Like I did the thing this week. I avoided spending $70. I watched Marco Meatball. I watched him play
Resident Evil 9.
Resident Evil 9. Because I was feeling itchy. I was feeling tasty itchy. You know what I mean? Like I was going
itchy tasty.
I was going nuts. I really want to play it. I really want, and I wanted to marathon it. Like I didn't want to just sit down and play Resident Evil 9. I just wanted
Marathon's not out yet.
I wanted to bask in it, but I didn't want to spend $70 because I knew it's a solo play game and I know it's going to be cheaper come Christmas time. And I watched the end boss done by Marco. And I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna be okay. just need a little spoil, to get by. Whereas something like a Ghosts, that you turn into the final boss, like, okay, what was
Ghosts?
ruined? Of the Tsushima
Ghosts of Yote?
or any of them.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the Ghosts of Yote, right?
Well, there's only 2 of them. So
That or even I guess because I know Dark Souls, it doesn't affect me in that way. If I tune in and I saw the final boss of Dark Souls, I'd be like, well, that's not my build, that's not my character. There's 1,000 other bosses I haven't seen.
That's not my 113th attempt at this boss.
Right, but Ghosts, I assume you will fight a samurai at the end, which probably has some importance to your overall story, and probably maybe there's a nice fire in the background because the city's burning, but otherwise isn't going to be visually spoiling my excitement.
I can't think about anything you're saying because I'm just now realizing that Ghosts of Tsushima / Yote have the exact same problem as those damn Jedi games that... the Jedi games, the important part that is distinct is after the colon. And Ghost doesn't tell me what game you're talking about.
That's
I
true.
think of Call of Duty
StarCraft Ghosts,
because,
that's all about that.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that until just now. I'm like, oh yeah, because they completely changed. It's Ghosts of, and then there's a new word. Anyway, I digress. So, you think Sony going exclusive again is good? I think it's bad.
I think it's an extremely mixed bag. I would rather not have to buy a Nintendo at all ever again if I could avoid it.
But for some reason, you're okay with play. So you're biased because you have PS5.
Yeah, I'm a biased participant because they might increase the value of the thing I'm already doing. Well done.
Okay.
Also, I loved Astrobot,
Wonderful.
so I my completely naive consumer hope is good. Go make it better. Make more Astrobots. Make something that I really, really want. And does that extra 30% do it for you? Probably not.
Go make a turn-based Final Fantasy. This is for Square, not Sony. But
yes.
But back then they were exclusive. Go make a turn-based Final Fantasy with pre-rendered backgrounds.
It's important to note, yes, as many people are saying in chat, that Square is not Sony and so on and so forth. But
we're aware of that.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring that up. The example still stands that the game was at launch PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, I just also think that it's been a long time since there's been, outside of maybe Nintendo, exclusives that have really moved the needle. Astrobot is a very, very special case.
Yeah. Square isn't Sony yet. Yeah, there's like a rumor that I feel like every year. I could see it happening, but I feel like if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. But never say never. Marathon might cause them to go crazy. You haven't seen a desperate Sony yet, but you might this year. All right, Resident Evil 9, you mentioned it multiple times. It sold well, quite well, in fact. 5 million copies in 5 days. I went digging. I tried to find 5-day stats for any other Resident Evil game, which very hard to find, but I did find week 1 stats for Resident Evil 8 Village, and apparently it sold around 3 million copies in its first week. And Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, I couldn't find one I was happy citing, but I saw multiple claims of 1.5 million in the first week. But the last big official number we got for 7 was 15 million as of June of last year.
Yeah, it looks like 16.8 would be the most modern count on that. So the fact that it has reached half of Resident Evil 3's remake in this short amount of time seems really good. But also Resident Evil 3 remake at 10 million copies sold the exact same amount as Resident Evil 5 and 6. So maybe not the metric we should be leaning on for hopeful Resident Evil fans getting good content.
Maybe not. I mean, 6 was rough, man.
5 and 6
I did
into 6, yeah.
Yeah. Although we found out this week through playing through Resident Evil 1, 5 has a lot of fans. Because you and I both, I think, are like, we both played 5, we both beat 5, we both had fun with it. But it was really tough following 4. 4 is so good, in my opinion, the best Resident Evil of the ones I've played. and I think that would hold even if I played every single damn one of them. But yeah, we got yelled at a bit this week. Friendly yelling. Where people are like, what are you talking about? You put some respect on 5's name. But everyone agrees that 6 is trash. And it sold just as well as 5. But dude, I remember when 6 came out. In the years after 6, because it was a long wait. When did Resident Evil 6 come out? Resident Evil 6.
I'm going with
it was 2012.
12, okay.
2012. So we waited 6 years for Resident Evil 7. In those years, I remember people talking about Resident Evil like it was just done. Like 6 took the wins completely out of the sales, and 7 was such a swing, man. It was like they went first person. They got really super creepy and dark and scary with it. Like to me, I always looked at 7 as like saving the franchise. It revitalized it. It just kind of, well, for lack of a better word, resurrected it.
Yeah, they were off their bullshit. It was a very exclusive story, and it was freaking awesome. And I think that in terms of, ATB, turn-based to half real-time or anything like that, taking Resident Evil first person was a great freaking choice.
It's a smart choice. I've been I haven't picked up 9 yet. I really want to play 9. I'm mostly just hemming and hawing. I'm like, do I stream it? Do I not stream it? What do I do? And that's really what's just going on with it right now. So right now I'm like, maybe I just save it for October or something. And also on a personal note, as you know, I got really close to beating 7, but I got so scared I stopped playing it. And I've never played 8, and I think I should play those before 9.
Where'd you get to?
I don't know if
7?
they actually.
Did you do the boat stuff?
God. I don't remember a boat at all in 7.
Because the boat's the freakiest part, in my opinion.
It gets scarier than Grandma in the tunnels?
It gets scarier than Basement, yeah. It definitely gets.
Basement, like, made me want to poop my pants.
Now,
like, it was so scary.
Kristen didn't find the boat that scary. It depends on your brain. If you are a role player, to me, the boat was horrifying. But if you are like a logically brained person, the boat is not scary at all because it's extremely predictable. The monsters are on like really easy to know pathings. Kristen will do this thing when she plays horror games where if there's a door at the end of a hallway and there's 4 rooms in this hallway, she will run all the way down to the final door without looking in any of the rooms. And I find that horrifying. But she's like, nope, this is the best. This is the direct path. There's no need to ever look around because I have a quest. I have a straight line.
But that's survival horror. There's bullets in those rooms.
There could be. It's not about inventory. It's about just the sheer nature of like, why even bother looking behind you? Because that's where the scary shit is. I'm going forward right now.
I would like to point out that that RE7 puts almost all of the scary shit directly in front of you and leaves you with no choice but to
usually
see it.
Walks around the corner in front of you and gets in your face. Also, I think I'm personally traumatized by that weird time period, and to me, it's like I think it's like 2009-ish, where there was like Wolfenstein and all that, and there was constantly an explosion that your camera wouldn't be grabbed by. Something awesome would happen, and if you didn't look at it, you simply didn't know it ever existed. So often when I walk into new skyboxes, I'm just spinning, and I'm hoping that the game goes, yo, look this way. I love games that are just like, look at this. Thank you. Now I'm not afraid I'm missing the important shit.
That's why I like cutscenes. Just give me a cutscene. Give me a freaking cutscene. Anyway, Chad's saying I don't need to worry about 7 or 8 for 9. I actually should just play 2, 4, and maybe Outbreak. Okay. I like seeing the mechanical evolution of games too, though, just as much as story. I'm pretty caught up on Leon, so I do kind of feel like I could just make a mad dash for 9. But anyway, whatever the case is, I'm just so stoked. I love Resident Evil. It's wonderful. I don't know where it fits into my content creation diet because it's weird, man. It's a weird one for the channel. Am I allowed to talk about this?
You sure if you want.
Do you want to talk about the like the playing Terraria 1? It did all right. It wasn't crazy, nothing. It wasn't like earth shattering. But it did make me go, I'm like, didn't we play another Resident Evil at some point? And I went and looked up, we did a day one stream when Resident Evil 4 Remake came out, because I was just super hyped for it. I think I vaguely remember feeling like I had to talk you into it, because you're like, we're in the middle of Final Fantasy, this doesn't fit. And I was just like, I have to play it today.
You're really excited about 4, yeah.
I have to play it today. I am fairly certain it's very hard to quickly figure this out. I think Resident Evil 4 Remake was the worst stream we've ever done. I don't think we've had a worse performing stream, because I looked up the numbers yesterday and I was straight up flabbergasted. So,
and that was in the middle of what, like the end of Stormblood, coming into Shadowbringers? Where was that?
So, something like that. The channel as a whole was quite healthy at the time. So like I always feel a bit weird about it. So yeah, like I'm almost like, should I? Because they're they take a little bit to get through, and also you and me are not always the best players of games.
Which I think is part of the joy of the situation.
Day one stream feels like a big gamble. Listen, let me tell you, streaming anything at any time ever is a big gamble. All of it's a big gamble. There's no way to tell. So the best thing you can do is look at stuff overall if you've done it more than once. So
to put more of a number to it, our Resident Evil 1 streams did 5 times as well as the Resident Evil 4 stream, now years later. Yes. So that felt nice. Yeah. That was great. I certainly understand like the desire of like, oh, I'm going to be in my home reacting to this. I should probably broadcast it. I like Resident Evil in its current form. Village.
I just like Resident Evil. I think I'm just a Resident Evil fan. I've never really thought of myself as one, but I felt things when they put out the Leon trailer for RE9. I already was interested because I think modern Resident Evil, just good games. They make good games, and even though I didn't play 8, what I've seen of it, 7, 8, and now 9, it just seems they haven't missed. They just keep making good games. And I give a shit about Leon. I think I might care about Leon more than Dante from Devil May Cry, and that is just a realization for me.
Leon's just so campy.
You and I,
he's great.
We don't talk about it a lot, but Devil May Cry was a big part of my personality in high school. Like a big part. Is one of my just favorite things. I every day I'd go home from school, I would play freaking whatever the latest Pokemon was, which at the time was Fire Red. I would chase it with Need for Speed Underground 2, and I'd probably end the night trying to get the best grade at the end of a DMC 1 level. Like, I loved that shit. I absolutely loved that shit. But yeah, I think Leon, there is a Fast and the Furious energy to Leon Kennedy that I just kind of adore. I get very excited when he shows up. And it's a new truth for me, Kyle.
I think you would really like Village. I think it's a lot less scary than Resident Evil 7 was. And it's...
Yeah. I don't want to be misconstrued as saying I don't like 7 because I thought it was a masterpiece. But it worked against me because it was a masterpiece at being terrifying.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Well, and I still want to beat it. So...
Well, apparently, Resident Evil 4 Remake took 3 months to reach the sales of Requiem, 5 months for Village, a full year for Resident Evil 2 Remake, which I hear is awesome, and Resident Evil 7,
one of my favorite games.
17 months for 7 Remake. Like so huge success. I'm actually really surprised, given what I just said and what I just did, to not pay $70. I'm really impressed with those sales numbers because it's like a 14-hour game. Like you could just watch a streamer do it. Yeah,
this is like one of those things though. Like, do you ever feel like I want to support it because I want more games like this? Because I get that feeling a decent, particularly right now. Because as previously mentioned, I just feel like as a fan of like big budget single player experiences, I don't feel particularly serviced right now.
Sure. I think my camp's a lot more in the StarCraft kind of atmosphere for that sort of thing. Absolutely. There's no way in hell I could sit and watch someone do the StarCraft campaign and feel satisfied. I would lose my mind.
Yeah. And that would probably be like a $60 game, $50 game maybe.
Oh,
you got a new like proper RTS campaign.
Oh, and if it was in like a an indie sphere, yeah, that thing's gonna cost you $30. You know, like I would happily have paid more for Monster Hunter Train 2, but I think their price point was great.
Did you call it Monster Hunter Train?
Excuse me, Monster Train 2. I think we were talking about Capcom, so my brain just.
Well, you got Capcom on the brain.
Yeah, I got Capcom brained.
You're so Capcom pilled. You're just zombie maxing. All right, well, let's continue into good news. Maybe.
This is a big maybe.
People won't stop vibrating about Crimson Desert in my vicinity. There seems to be a lot of hype for this game. I finally broke down and watched a decent amount of preview footage. And I don't think this game is for me, but I also think it's impossible to tell without actually getting hands-on with it.
So this is such a weird one. I've got Dragon's Dogma on the brain. Just thinking about
yes,
all the hype that was leading up to Dragon's Dogma, and then it came out, and other than like a brief confused scandal about the pay-to-win aspect of it, which ended up not being actually true and all that kind of thing, it didn't really go anywhere. Crimson Desert is a evolution of Black Desert, and people love parts of Black Desert. Boy, do people love parts of Black Desert. I, on paper, love parts of Black Desert. I love the way they make you maintain and watch your entire trade cart in between towns so you don't get robbed by bandits, both NPC and players. I think that's fascinating, and it'd be wonderful in an isekai. I don't want to manage that in real life. There are parts of Black Desert that people love. The characters, the gender lock characters, a lot of them are much beloved. The way the game plays, all this sort of thing. And Crimson Desert essentially came out with a preview a while ago. Looked like it was 500 things all in one, and we all went, bullshit. This game doesn't really exist. I think that was just problem number one is there is so much going on in this thing that it's hard to fathom that it's even a real game. Also, the way
it looks like Unreal Engine Breath of the Wild to me.
It very much is a Tears of the Kingdom. You have a flying puzzle dungeon fortress kind of thing going on. You have what looks like to me canned special effects spell powers. They're so over particly that you can't help but be like, these are from some sort of asset bin. There's too much going on here.
That's part of my issue with it is, it does just kind of look like an asset bin game. So like visually it doesn't move me, but I can get past that real fast if I like your open world gameplay. Because there's also times like I watched a preview earlier that they talked about like the side quests, and what doesn't remind me of Breath of the Wild is that the world does seem alive. Like there seems to be a lot of people out and about in the world. That reminds me of like Red Dead in a way I wasn't expecting to pop into my mind for this game, for Crimson Desert.
Yeah, and since they're
I've been trying to figure out what the hell it's been for a month now, because about a month ago, like it got on my radar from a bunch of people that I like normally only talk to about MMOs.
And I
want an MMO, and they're like, no, not at all.
And I want to hear from that. Yeah. Like I'm really interested in why it even came on your radar, which makes sense to me why I'd hear about it, because I have friends who play Black Desert. So first up, to answer some questions, it's way more The Witcher, because it's very much with the governor's coming down to power, and the voice acting's pretty good from all accounts. There's a lot of spitting and slapping of cups aside and you'll never be king kind of moments going on here. Very much a medieval fantasy world, and it is made in its own engine which is not a port or a redo or a use of the Black Desert engine, which is giving people a lot of confidence and saying, wow, it's actually running. Holy shit. And it looks pretty good in video with how many plants are bending. So the fact that it looks all right in what we're seeing in
How many plants?
well,
are bending?
you know, like when you're watching a live stream or you're watching a recording of video games nowadays, it doesn't look anywhere as good as it looks on your home screen. So the fact that it still looks pretty decent on these recordings is encouraging. But why do you think you're hearing about it?
I have absolutely no idea. I have to just assume because we're in a corner of the internet that involves some MMO fans, which is its own can of worms with Final Fantasy 14, because there are plenty of Final Fantasy 14 players where they are just Final Fantasy 14 players and they are not MMO fans. But some are. So I'm assuming they have dabbled, folks that I'm hearing from have dabbled in Black Desert Online and are maybe curious about this. But yeah, I don't know. And then other than that, I've just been like reading articles about it. And I finally, today I went, all right. I think I watched the exact preview you're looking at because I remember thinking this kid looked awful. the lighting, the tech, the hair that just looks stapled on. Yeah. But I think this is the exact thing I watched this morning. Yes, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the Skill Up review. They were able to get 6 hours of gameplay in the game. Pretty small, you know, but it was an event they were invited to, and they were talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a good mess around box, and the world feeling a little more alive does intrigue me, because that's something I really didn't like about Breath of the Wild, so much so that I never even picked up Tears of the Kingdom. Because once I heard it was more Breath of the Wild, but now building, I was like, I'm out. Could not be less interested in modern Zelda. But this doesn't look like it has building. Thank God.
You definitely tether, and you have what I would say more of like a gravity gun puzzle kind of situation.
They definitely have the magnet power that looked lifted directly from Breath of the Wild to me. Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the problems,
which I liked the magnet power for all the things I've said where Breath of the Wild just didn't click for me. I did like the magnet power.
I think the building for Breath of the Wild, well, for Tears of the Kingdom anyway, worked really well for me because it added a level of temporary usefulness that married the weapons breaking all the time. Like, yeah, I made a giant rolling Jax. Wasn't that his name? Who was in Twisted Metal with the guy with his arms and the wheels? You know, like
I don't know. I don't remember.
I basically, you know, I made those machines pretty frequently, and they'd always break. And when my weapon broke after it, I was like, yeah, of course, that makes perfect freaking sense. That's how this is going. Axel.
That makes all the sense of the axle for the wheels. Wonderful.
Yeah. It was very much that feel, and I had a great time with it. I think one of the weirdest parts about this is I think I was excited for the wrong reason. I thought it was going to be a MMO or at least a multiplayer game, and they've said that there might be multiplayer aspects down the line. But you play as this dude. This dude on screen, Cliff, I think is his name, is the story character. I thought it was a character designer too, because he doesn't look that particularly exciting. But you unlock more characters to play as you go, and you unlock more stories that give you other jobs and classes in that way.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And my gut feeling right now is that it's not for me for personal reasons. But there's still just there's little points in it in this preview that I watch where I'm like, okay, but that kind of intrigues me. But yeah, I'm curious to see how it launches. It's launching on the 19th. The review embargo is the day before, so we're not going to get full on reviews until essentially release day.
Interesting. Aren't we usually pretty sus about that kind of thing?
I am. I think that's pretty suspect. The F reviews crowd tends to like that and see it as a sign of strength.
It's such an interesting bag because I want more MMO content. I want more massive multiplayer business, even if it's not, you know, live servicey in that regard. But all I've heard about Black Desert is the best parts are when I'm playing alone. So maybe this is a slam dunk. Maybe this is everything the players want.
Yeah. Is Garrett a Witcher guy? I love The Witcher. Many years ago when I beat Witcher 2 for the first time, I thought it was one of the best games I had ever effing played. I think it was. I thought it was one of the most compelling narratives I had ever experienced in a game story. It is the year of our Lord 2026, and I've still not beaten Witcher 3. It just hasn't happened. I have restarted that game 4 or 5 times. The side content's too good. We've also talked about it a lot on stream before. I don't like the combat in The Witcher. I don't think it's particularly fun to play. But overall, yes, I would consider Witcher 3 in the upper echelon of greatest games ever made.
That has not aged well. I can tell you that much. So that combat is still as boring as you thought it was back then, and you've grown as a person since.
Just felt like I was beating people with a stick.
The stick can get stronger, but yes, my complaint will always be having to re-equip my oils inside of a menu after 10 hits, 20 hits, I think, if you spec for it.
Yeah. One day you and I need to sit down and have a long conversation about why sometimes crunchy gameplay mechanics really work for us and other times they fall on their face, and what the distinction is between the two. Because, like, I know you and I both share this, what I think is a unique fondness, which is we have a unique fondness for the OG vanilla World of Warcraft weapon system, where you just had to equip the thing you want to use and suck at it for a while before you're good at it. I don't know why I like it, but I like it. It made me invested in the character and their journey of getting proficiency with those weapons. But for some reason, I also hate applying oils in Witcher.
It's so systems deep, right? Like, is it tied to... You got to look deep in your soul. Is it tied to the fact that you got a cool sword, but you can't equip it today? So the hope of doing it once, so you leveled it while you're offline, then you show up holding that freaking sword you got with your friends. Yeah, it could be all those things.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Final. I'm gonna file this under good news.
Okay.
Maybe not good news for Kyle's wallet, but Pokemon just in general celebrated Pokemon 30 officially last week. We got the next mainline Pokemon game announced, Winds and Waves. I think that's a phenomenal name, by the way. Love it. When I heard it, I was like, perfection. What a freaking perfect name for a new dueling set of Pokemon games. We've got new starters that have got to be the most shared I've ever seen on social media. Mostly the dog, mostly Pombon, appears to have won the hearts of the internet. And I'm getting to enjoy seeing Gen Z on Shorts content, experiencing Fire Red and Leaf Green for the first time and cackling maniacally because they have played user-friendly Pokemon their entire lives.
So this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
When does this come out? How, like, we have this...
I don't know if there was a date.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is the announcement trailer with special Pikachu. Gotta have that special Pikachu introduced in the game, you know?
2027, no month, no date.
Okay, so still a ways out.
Next year, sometime.
I can't wait till the eventual complete breakdown of this trailer and how it was full of lies about the grass texture.
What?
Well, that was the whole thing with the previous one, right? Is that the buildings looked amazing in the trailer that was a year ahead of it. And then when they put out the game, it was all just a flat JPEG spread across.
That was ahead of it? I don't remember that. I do. It's been fun this time because there's been a lot of very popular memes of being like, it's successful because we're all just memeing about the starters instead of tearing down the art.
That's fair. I mean, it does look pretty good. It does look pretty decent.
I think it looks nice. I still personally, God, I would love for them to really like go for it and do something much more like artistic, like really make it look illustrative. I still want my Pokemon game that just straight up looks watercolor and ink, but I know there's side games that look like that. Those don't count. I want a real Pokemon game that looks like that.
Well, that's where I get the big rub is everyone's like, well, Pokemon's not about the graphics. Then why do I need to Switch 2? Why do I need that? Why do I require the power of a new thing to play this?
Because Nintendo's got checks to cash, man.
Because Nintendo don't or something like that.
Because congratulations, you chose video games as your hobby. Welcome.
Wind Waves is a very good name, though.
You should have stuck with Dungeons and Dragons, where you could have ignored Wizards of the Coast and continued paying nothing to enjoy the product.
That's as I continue to do right now in quiet vengeance.
Yeah. I want that water start. I think all the starters are great. This is a rare occasion where I really like all three starters.
Oh, do you know what the water curse is? I saw that a lot this week. We've broken the water curse.
Water curse?
Yeah, like Pokemon.
I just saw a lot of memes about how finally a Pokemon game has decent looking water.
Like the water starter curse is a thing that people believe in.
Oh, gotcha. A lot of people just don't like the water starters.
I guess so. Maybe they've just sucked for a while.
Going back until when? Because like I consider it somewhat modern, although I guess that was a 3DS game. Think about Oshawott. Oshawott I thought was a S tier, adorable little goober.
And wasn't I guess Bulbasaur was the easiest one for first gen, but Squirtle did really well in the beginner too.
You're just talking about like being popular.
I was wondering if that was the curse. Like they just sucked. Like the first couple of gyms were rough for them or something.
Oh no, I don't think that's what anyone's talking about. I think people are mostly just judging on if they like the look of the Pokemon.
Yeah, I think
Squirtle was like a cheat code for the first gym in OG Red and Blue.
I do think the middle Pomeranian really stole the thunder in this case.
Oh, Pombon, 100%. Yeah, my feed is nothing but Pombon fan art, and I'm actually pretty happy as a result. It's a net positive for my view on the world, how much Pombon I am seeing right now. Also, thank you everyone who sent it to me. Yes, it does in fact look like a dog I own. So I appreciate it. I appreciate that you see me and that you know this about me. And Katie had a lot of fun. I showed her like every single message I got from people being like, "Have you seen this?" Because I got it from a lot of people.
It looks like your dog.
I appreciate it. Looks like your dog. Yes, big, fluffy. Not a lot going on behind the eyes. Also been sent a ton of memes from friends. I believe it does. Yeah. Switch do be really old now, though. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I don't think Kyle wants to hear that right now, though.
No, it's because I got my Switch like 3 years. Well, shit. No, wait, hang on. Yeah. Okay, my son's 6. Yeah, 4 years ago. Okay, it's a little old.
You got a Switch 4 years ago?
Yeah, because I wanted to play Pokemon Unite.
Holy shit, you were late.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, the Switch one's old as shit, man.
Companies underestimate my patience. I will wait.
I think I underestimated your lack of care for fidelity. That's what I underestimated.
Well, that too, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Maybe your eyes just run at a higher frame rate than me. Maybe your ears hear at a low decibel, you know?
When did the Switch one even come out? 2017. We're coming up on 10 years. 10 years of Switch 1, Kyle.
Yeah.
So it's 9 years old as of yesterday. 9 years old. Yesterday was the anniversary of the Switch 1. Damn. I remember getting mad lucky. I called around because I decided that day I wanted one. And on like my 7th call, it was to a Walmart. They were like, we have one that was spoken for and they still haven't picked it up. So they're like, if you get here at like 8 p.m. and they still haven't picked it up, you can have it. I was like, cool. And I went and I got it. I still have that sucker. Katie's playing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee on it right now. I asked if she wanted the Switch 2, by the way, and she went, no, this one's lighter. So she's a real Kyle. You know, she doesn't really care about the fidelity.
Exactly. There are dozens of us.
Yeah, Switch 1 is that old, y'all. Yeah. Switch 1's been out a long time. Long time. So, but yeah, that's the news. I think it's a good mix, man. I feel bad. I feel bad for Highguard. even though I had no interest in personally playing.
I think it's a cautionary tale, and we'll all have a second of pause before we dunk on the next thing, and that'll be healthy for us for a little bit. It won't last long, but it will be a healthy exchange.
I'm sad for Highguard. I'm really happy for Resident Evil. I'm happy for people that Crimson Desert ends up being for. I don't think it's gonna be for me, and I'm feeling good as a Pokemon fan. I'm feeling good. I'm also kind of feeling like I want to like really get into Pokemon again, but unfortunately, we've been playing games that consume lives, you and me. We mentioned Arc Raiders last week. I'm still playing Arc Raiders.
Pokemon's another one of those, yep.
We had a patron's choice last Wednesday to try Minecraft Hardcore. I had never in my life played Minecraft outside of one day in 2010. I played build mode. That was it. So we did Hardcore Minecraft last week. And I think I have played somewhere around like 12 hours of Minecraft over the last 3 nights with Katie. Non-hardcore. And we've gotten horribly lost with just decorating our home. So we have made less progress than you and I made dying over and over again in hardcore.
Decorating will do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want to just be like, can we do like a Minecraft stream a week? Like, I loved it. I had so much fun, dude. And honestly, I want to go back to hardcore. Like, I felt alive, man.
I think if we make a plan,
it was a rush.
We keep running, we keep working on our speed running. I think that's something fundamental that is missing from my gaming diet right now is just improving at something. And I want that improvement to feel meaningful. And so much of modern video gaming can be achievement hunt, things made by the company, whether it's achievements or artificial accolades or some sort of gear that was really hard to get. Like, it's so nice to play something that really doesn't have those systems. You just are good at it or you're not.
Yeah. That's the thing, because just in the background, I've had a lot of speed runs on because Katie got into Ludwig last year, and so now I'm in the Ludwig by osmosis, and that dude just will not stop playing freaking Minecraft speed running, and so it's just always on in the background. I'm never paying super close attention to it, unless I guess like a normal stream viewer, I get a sense that he's about to actually like accomplish something, and then I lock in and I really watch, and it's a terrible way to learn. So like, I have no idea. I know you eventually get to the Ender Dragon. I don't know how. From chat, I found out why beds explode. Thank you for informing me of that. But I have so much respect for speedrunners in this game now. Like, it's so systems deep, and being able to do this stuff quickly, it's really impressive. So it's like, I feel like if I want to do a hardcore clear, I should probably just I think I'm just going to keep learning things in a non-permadeath version with Katie, so it makes me a better hardcore player.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't like, my brain's kind of like, I'm vaguely interested in speedrunning, but I'm not sure that's what I want to go about in hardcore. I almost feel like I think my dream is that my first Ender Dragon kill is in hardcore, but I kind of want to just be like as geared to the teeth as humanly possible.
You just want to, you want to get there in a natural, non-destructive villager way.
Just like the turtle strat, like proper Lord of the Rings style adventure, like get there, however long it takes is however long it takes, We love our alliteration. I'm not literally pitching Minecraft Mondays, but something like that. I would be happy with that in my diet. This is just me, man. I'm late to everything. This is another example in a long line of me waiting way too long to try something that has captured the hearts of millions. So, yeah. Here we are.
Well, I have a segue if you want it. You weren't too late on the new patch for Final Fantasy 14. That came out yesterday.
No, yeah, I really had fun with that. I had a very good time yesterday. I was exhausted by the end. I was not expecting the advance to be as
advanced
hard as it was.
Wasn't expecting the advance to be advanced, huh?
Yeah. So for those who may not be keeping up with Final Fantasy 14, there was a new patch yesterday. It was a midpoint patch. So it wasn't 7.4, it was 7.4.5. But it was a midpoint patch, and they added in the variant dungeon for this expansion. And variant dungeons comes in 3 flavors. You have standard variant dungeon, which is very much built around the concept of exploration. You have a dungeon with 3 branching paths, and every time you run it, you choose which path to go down, and there are a finite number of variations that you can see. There's variations not only to the paths themselves, but then micro variations within each path. And there's achievements and some rewards for seeing all those paths. Then you go to advanced, which this time around is a bit different in that it has no trash. You go into advanced, and it's harder versions of the 3 possible end bosses based on the 3 paths that exist in the standard version of the variant. And you can go and clear them. And if you kill all 3 bosses, you unlock Criterion, which was pretty infamous back in Endwalker for having some of the damn hardest bosses, particularly for 4-man content. And it looks like by George, they've done it again. But yesterday, we cheekily thought our goal should just be unlocking Criterion. Let's see if we can do it, because we heard that the advanced bosses were about on extreme level difficulty. And I think I agree with that, because we only managed to finish 1 advanced boss before we needed to report to dinner for the evening.
It was my least favorite boss out of the way, too, so we got that going. The other 2 were far more enjoyable. I look forward to beating them. But yeah, we were at that boss for what, 60 minutes? That's not terrible, That ain't bad. 60 minutes to blind beat a boss, sussing out the mechanics yourself, but it was a good time. This was really strong combat content for their game. It's a weird release, ultimately. Like, I don't think MMOs cross-pollinate to such a degree that the normal release of World of Warcraft affected the hype of a variant dungeon late game patch.
There's no point in comparing them. They're incomparable.
Right. Well, and even then with like...
one is an expansion release. One is not even mainline patch release. This is mid-patch cycle release.
And if you do early access for World of Warcraft, then you would have been fine to get in this content anyway day of. So there wasn't like silence around the patch because of World of Warcraft. I did some sleuthing last night because I don't really understand rewards in Final Fantasy 14. My brain goes, is there gear? No. Then the rewards are questionable at best. I will play this because I want to beat the content. And should magical hats that I want to wear someday fall out of the boss, lo and behold, what a wonderful thing. What a nice surprise that'll be. So many times just playing Final Fantasy 14 has been for the sheer joy of enjoying the content and the battle systems. But everything I saw online was that, man, they messed up rewards. I can't believe they dropped the ball again.
Yeah, well, to me, it seems valid. I wasn't into variants. Somewhat famously around these parts, became kind of a sub meme within our Discord. So we have a few folks. I'm not even sure it's a dozen, but we have a few folks who are very passionate about variants in our Discord. And when we finally did try it in Endwalker, I was not impressed. I think it's subjective. Because I mean, right now, I just saw it go by. Someone said it's a shame it gives off such a poor first impression. Clearly, it works for some people, but yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I don't think the very first variant is particularly thrilling. But then I tried the Criterion, got my ass kicked, and had a really lovely experience clearing the first Criterion boss, and it's the only Criterion boss that I've cleared with you, Joe and Shen. We had a really freaking good time. And then a while back, we went back to variants, and I did enjoy it, because there wasn't as much expectation. I didn't have many people pushing it on me. You and I were just kind of feeling it, and so we just went in, and because I was in the mood and I got there naturally, I enjoyed it more. So and after this, I'm just like, shit, I really like this. And so I do wish, I don't necessarily want like better rewards. I wish it was just more rewarding. Like, I wish this was better for just grinding tomes. Like, it's shit for grinding tomes. But I like this a lot. And like, I am so bored with Expert Roulette, and I frankly never need to do a hunt train again this expansion. I'm done with them. I'm just very done with that experience. I think hunt trains are cool. I love how social they feel, but they feel very samey after a while. And I've hit maximum samey feel on hunt trains. So as someone who still likes to, make sure I'm getting my tomes, I do wish this was a little better.
Yeah, that's the odd thing about it. Like, we're not in Torghast territory of do it or die. You are not falling behind necessarily by not doing the content. You will be behind others, sure, but that's a personal choice you can make, not a required choice to participate. I think this was amazing content, and I think in the repertoire of, hey, what would you rather do tonight, putting it on par with Expert Roulette would be pretty cool. It just strikes me as a weird decision because I want this content to continue. Like, it's like a movie that came out and you're not sure if it's going to get a sequel. I really, really enjoyed yesterday, and I think they've really nailed their combat systems and how they're producing these bosses.
Yeah. I will say, I have one major critique for the new variant. The story is bogus. The story could not be less interesting.
The story has
you're not even getting voice actors. The least you could do is write something interesting.
The story has some pretty obvious pitfalls. Just in my opinion, I wonder if someone was over concerned with making me role play, being the suitor for a fake lady in a book. Like, would that have been offensive to someone? Would someone have not wanted that because they've already signed themselves to love Graha for the rest of their days? Like, why couldn't I be the one in the big fluffy hat making the decisions?
Yeah, but it bothered me a little bit that once again, I am not the main character, where it felt like it would have been very easy to have the warrior like kind of take center stage for this. That was a minor one. Just overall, I'm just like, it just felt kind of weak, like stakeless, I would call it.
And going into a book is so cool. It's such a great opportunity to just go bombastic, go huge, and not really worry about the ramifications. So to see any sort of reserved action in that story, to hold back at all, very much like a Cult Crescent. Like, we're going to a mysterious island where everything's bizarre because the mages did random shit. It's like, cool, I want to see bizarre, and then it's reserved again. So I'm not really sure what's going on there necessarily. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence who's writing these stories right now. I don't know if it's too many fingers in the pie and what's causing that to not just go big. I think a very dangerous but obvious fix is go full fan service. Just make everything main characters. But put the main scions or whoever just in all these individual stories and go ham. So you always feel like you're at least building the pillars of your story for the future.
Yeah.
But all this comes from a place of like holy shit, that's actually really good combat content. I want more of it.
I loved everything about this except the narrative. Like, I thought it was like really strong. It's visually striking. The all of the different paths you can go down like really look different from one another in a way that's like really puts that first variant to shame. And again, maybe you're into that. That's completely subjective. That's my personal taste. But yeah. I'm with you, Sarcardo. I think Don Trill as a whole has just been super safe. And yeah, are they forming their opinion here based on the minimum 3 routes, or they do all 13 routes? I'm allowed to have an opinion regardless of how much I played, because if I don't like something, I'm not going to dig deeper to save it. Like, if I don't think there's that much there in the first place, I'm not going to put in more of my own time and effort to try and make it feel worth my time. I think with any sort of story angle, you need to try and grab people. and I don't think this grabs people.
The best I can respond to a lot of the things we've gotten about variants in the past is that I think just the word puzzle is a very subjective word, and what they create in those environments is not what I would consider a puzzle, nor do I consider gravity gunning a battery that's currently on the floor next to a hole in the wall a puzzle. I don't consider that necessarily a real thinker, a real mind-boggling moment. So it's really hard to define what that aspect, what the normal version of the content is. And for me, this content always shines best when we get into the combat aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I think
you and I like bosses, and this is particularly unique for us because I think we enjoy that we can go in as two people because there's not a lot of boss content in Final Fantasy 14 that lets us do that. And that's fun. That's cool. It leads to some hilarity. But,
yeah, and limitations too. Like, I don't know where Dark Knight is on the DPS meters, but certainly I was not feeling very impactful being a healer for the damage portion of my contribution in this particular battle.
Yeah. But I think it's good. I would just recommend if you like Final Fantasy 14 combat, I think this is a must play. If you're not into it, I think you can skip it. We didn't even talk about the rewards, but yeah, some folks are a bit miffed that they removed a mount they moved a mount from regular variant as a reward for doing all of the unlocking all the optional paths, and they moved it to advanced. There's still 2 mounts, but both the mounts are deeper in the harder content, and you get a mask for the standard variant. I agree. Honestly, one of the biggest critiques of variant in the past was a lot of people thought there weren't enough rewards, or the rewards weren't good enough. And so for them to not really up the rewards and also just kind of move the more enticing reward deeper in the difficulty curve, I think that's a fair critique. It doesn't seem like they listened to any feedback about the previous variant.
I was attempting to armchair design my my opinion on this, but I'm a little gear brained, perhaps. I think that makes me sound like a simpleton. But what I
mean, you like MMOs, like you like more than just Final Fantasy 14, so I don't think that's surprising.
Yeah, so when I think about what motivates me for gear, it's often weird stuff like anytime I combust, I also cast 3 fireball sprites that now summon and occasionally on a 20, like just weird affixes and stacking gear and all these sort of things that Final Fantasy doesn't do. So then you get in that weird aspect of, so what kind of gear would be good for this system? And at its current difficulty, you're like, catch-up gear? But I absolutely understand, there's people out there fighting the frickin' savage content at the end of the tier with the big moment and the extra boss phase. Why should I be as geared as them? I can also say on this side, like, why shouldn't I be as geared as them at this point in the game's life? Can't I be as geared? Is it really going to service me further into the next expansion? Why not gear me at the same level? It's all just stats. And so I end up in this cyclical, useless kind of conversation with myself. And so I go onto the internet to see maybe someone with a better opinion, and they end up being an asshole. So I'm frankly confused in that regard. Like a lot of the late game stories that people are talking about with Final Fantasy 14 right now aren't actually the in-game stories. It's what Square did to some website to cancel it because they're trying to protect their employees. And that is an interesting aspect of what they're doing right now, but it also ties into Japanese law that was recently put into power. And so they're having to now police the internet, but stopping your employees from being threatened sounds like a pretty good idea. Like, that stuff's really complex.
Yes.
You don't have to respond to all that, by the way.
To me, it adds to the feeling of, boy, things just seem kind of quiet leading up to FanFest. We are almost a month out. the announcement of the next Final Fantasy expansion. And to me, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm like, I think it's just a knock-on effect of the middling reception to Dawn Trail. Because I feel like at this point, back in Endwalker, the hype was off like freaking charts.
People were starting to groove. Yeah, people were feeling kind of what was being set up and where we were going and how that was going to be. The summer vacation aspect certainly grabbed a lot of people in a really exciting way.
Well, that was after. I'm talking about like the pre-hype. I just remember people being really excited for FanFest and outside of the FanFest like chat channel in our Discord, and a few places here and there on the Reddit, I'm not seeing it the same. And not that 14 mid-cycle patches get a lot of hype, but like, God, there was just nothing for this, and it's just, I don't know, it feels a little bizarre to me.
We have a live letter on March 13th, which is a very interesting position for that conversation leading into the FanFest hype month of April. But that is going to give us some sort of preview as to, I don't even know what you freaking preview. I don't know what
7.5. They'll be promoting 7.5.
Yeah, they're going to be promoting 7.5.
It'll be a big 7.5 preview, which I'm really excited to see. I loved 7.4, man. I thought 7.4 was an amazing patch. And it continues to be. Because I really liked the combat yesterday. It was exceptional.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just used to people rattling the cages in excitement a little bit more, at least from the one pre-FanFest experience I had.
No, this could just be our first expansion cycle, but I think it's completely undramatic to say it's just sort of eerie. And I think one of the eeriest things about the patch yesterday was I was like, what's in it? You know, what's going to be a part of this? Where can I find information? Where can I get excited? And there was a resounding sort of, watch the live letter from October. It's like, well, now hang on. Isn't there something that happens now that would inform me and excite me now months later? And I guess that's just how things are done.
In fairness, that is just, I was going to say, that is just
how things are done. It just felt kind of weird.
How they do things. For a main patch, for 7.4, we had a live letter a lot closer to the actual drop of it, and they debuted the trailer for the patch, which includes a lot of the hype aspects of it. The problem is with the mid patch stuff, which is just like, well, they're not going to do a live letter before it, and there's not really any hype outside of that. I saw more hype for Little Ladies Day than I did for this, and to be fair, the rewards for Little Ladies Day pretty cool. I really like the idol shirts. And who doesn't want more glow sticks in Final Fantasy 14? They're quite popular. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bizarre.
Yeah.
We're so please pardon our dust as we reach the end of our first entire cycle of being current with Final Fantasy 14. It's still strange to me.
No, absolutely. And I think a lot of people are thinking like, maybe this is all this conversation's coming from some sort of content creator like aspect of it, and this is like 100% legitimate. What happened yesterday was I went online to see why there was no lead up and excitement. And while we were playing it, I was having a great time. I wanted to know about what I would get by doing it. And what I saw was a massive amount of what I can assume by their updates, the pillars of the community completely lambasting this and calling it awful and ignoring of what the audience wanted. And that was weird. It was a weird experience.
When it comes to rewards, I agree. It feels like no feedback was heard, listened to, or adjustments were made. If anything, willfully ignored. I agree with that. What I feel is also true is that the content is quite good and fun to play. But it's still an MMO, and certain players, particularly those that enjoy the genre of MMO, expect rewards commensurate with the effort put into clearing the content. I don't think it is 14 content creation, Kanya. I like if I was just a player of this game, I would have the same questions that Kyle is having. I happen to be newer in the grand scheme of things. But I don't think this is a content creation problem.
It could be the content creators who are putting out those words that I then saw that made me go, whoa. I have continued to exacerbate the problems over years, but it is interesting that they have found success in those spheres. I'm not looking to make any sort of big proclamation about that either. It's how many games do their thing. I mean, look at how we talk about someone like Bellular as well over in World of Warcraft. Oh my God, everything's the best and everything's wrong. Like that's often how the clickbait goes.
That is a content creation specific issue for sure. Or just gaming coverage issue. Because you still have more traditional outlets writing articles about MMOs as well, which I would say is journalism, not content creation. Like there's a difference. The lines can get blurry, but yeah. Anyway, quite enjoyed it. I recommend going and playing it. We beat RE1. Holy crap, tank controls, Jesus Christ. What an experience.
I enjoyed
You been playing Deadlock?
I've been playing Deadlock, yeah. I've been playing a bit of Deadlock. I'm trying to find official video of what is Deadlock, and there are many fan videos. Deadlock is fascinating. So Deadlock, I was already a part of by being friends with old Dota friends who got keys who are just like, it's by Valve, you want this, and threw it at me like it feels like 2 years ago, if not longer. Feels like Deadlock has been out for a really, really long time. And it was brought up while we were talking to Pint. Pint said they were playing Deadlock. And I went, oh. There was also a little bit of memeage on Deadlock during Highguard because I think people were getting disconnected from the game that day, and so they were saying, if I'm going to play a hero shooter that's new, I might as well go play Deadlock. So a lot of Highguard labeled Twitch streams were actually just people playing Deadlock who couldn't get into Highguard. So Deadlock over like the last...
It definitely got a bump.
Yeah, over like the last week, there was this weird bump into Deadlock that caused a lot of people to check it out. And because Pint being like, I've been playing so much of this, we should play Deadlock. I thought I would check it out. Oh my God, Deadlock is a mess. Mess lovingly, mess. I don't know, man. I don't like I love MOBAs. I love MOBAs so much. I love Dota. I loved Heroes of the Storm. I had no need to play League because of the 2 games I just named. I had plenty of content. I didn't need more. I grew up with Warcraft 3 Dota. Like it was my weekends. It was my Sundays. It was my evenings after my first job. Everything under the sun. Dota was my jam. And I had 0 friends who played with it. I believe I bought you and our buddy Ben skins for one Christmas to like bribe you to play with me more. And you did actually play with me. You played with me quite a bit. I was very happy about that.
Yes. As opposed to the time I gave you Destiny 2.
Yeah, as opposed to that time. Yeah, you're a better friend than me is what you're saying, and I agree.
I like winning the friendship war. Yes, that is a.
So
Chad is absolutely scorching you for showing what is apparently extremely old footage.
Yeah, that's fine. And we can attempt to find newer footage. Let's do that. Let's do that real quick. Let's attempt to find newer footage here.
I guess it's not 4 lanes anymore. I don't know.
I'm gonna go into my history on my YouTube, and I'm gonna put up a video that I watched this week. The thing is that a lot of by even trying to sell Deadlock, I think I'm just gonna do it a disservice because it's gonna sound completely overcomplicated. Because it is. But that's also what makes it very exciting. And the other thing is, I can't find official Deadlock footage because there is none, because this weird-ass game has been unreleased forever, and yet for some reason saw a swing into positivity over the last year. And there are people who are playing a game that has not come out with like 1,000 hours. They play it every single night, and it's not out. So there's this...
just tell me about your experience. I don't need to see it.
Okay.
I know what Deadlock looks like.
All right. Here's a little footage from a year ago. There you go, chat. Okay. Oh, wait, this is the video damn it. Okay, now I'm invested. Damn it. Hang on. Hold. I'm looking for the half-hour video I listened to while I was doing my run this morning. Please hold. There it is. Okay. There we go. All right. So, Deadlock is a MOBA's MOBA. There are lanes, you go into the lane, you kill the creeps, you get money, you level up, you buy things at the shop, the heroes have abilities, you destroy the buildings, you go for the enemy's core, and so on. It is a MOBA. Now just take everything I just said and add like headshots on top of it. Add everything that you once, all the shooter shit that people like.
It's a third-person shooter.
Yes.
But it's a MOBA.
Yes. So last hitting, when you kill the unit, a little ball flies out of them above their head, and whoever shoots that ball gets the last hit. And that's how it becomes a shooter. So from the outside, essentially, it seems like what they're trying to do is make a more popular MOBA by getting the shooter crowd involved in it. And every single person I can find that talks about this game ends up saying, yo, there's no way this game is going to work. It's too complex for the common man. This is going to come out and everyone's going to be like, I ain't playing this shit. There's way too many hidden rules. But these people who are saying it have 1,000 hours in a game that hasn't come out yet. So there's this fascinating, like, human aspect right now. And I don't think it's even gatekeeping. I think people legitimately love this game and they're really starting to fall in love with it. And they're afraid it's not going to be as big as they personally have invested in. I'm not talking about content creators. I'm just talking about, like, it's really fun when you start to know things. But knowing those things is a little obscure. There are builds. It's got that Valve sauce. You can go watch a live replay while it's going. That's freaking great. You can, in the menus, grab actual builds in the shop and have a pre-made little build and be like, all right, which build in this video game is the most upvoted for my character? Okay, I'm just going to buy those items. You can only have
people in all live chats right now simultaneously talking about how it has 100,000 player peaks daily,
and it's good.
That's a lot. It's a game that's not out. To my knowledge, there's not a progression system. Like, no,
you just play. Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
It's really impressive.
You're
good. More concerned if the podcast recording is good. Hold on. There we go. I need to be warned about those during podcasts, please. Yeah, I don't everything you're describing for why people don't think it will succeed, isn't that like the reason people like Dota? Dota has a shit ton of hidden rules.
That's the weirdest.
It's part of why I didn't stick with Dota.
That's the weirdest thing about interacting with this game. There's plenty of learn to play content, and it's all got pretty good view amounts, so I don't feel like I'm learning the wrong things or that they're obscure things. All of that is working to push me to try the game more. There's a lot of heroes and a lot of abilities that aren't necessarily centered on shooting, which is really nice. Like sometimes you'll get in a game you suck at, and there's one hero that is like the baby's first hero or the hero that you can like kind of noob out on for a bit, but you need to get off them as fast as possible. There's more than enough heroes here where you can just kind of get by and keep getting by and be fine in meta playing without being particularly an amazing shooter. And so I'm having a really good time. My time is very dependent on my knowledge, and every time I play, I get more interested because I learned something. There are a lot of little rules and little things like lightning rods on top of buildings so that nobody can camp out there for too long. And you're like, on one level, you're like, ew, this is so over-designed. But at the same time, you're thinking, oh, it's kind of nice that there's just not some sniper up here the whole freaking game ruining everyone's good time.
So are you going to stick with it?
Maybe. I think so. I'm going to stick with learning it. I'm currently hungry to learn a game. And I think this is the perfect time to get involved in a game like this because it's not even out yet. So there's not like all these achievements. There's only like 30 heroes or something like that. So it's going to be really easy to get caught up on what everything does. And these games are knowledge dependent. You need to know that when some samurai runs at you, what they do. You can make assumptions like, don't let them near me. That's probably a good idea. You see a samurai running at you, don't let it touch you. But it has like an ult. It has all these other abilities.
You are describing a MOBA.
Yes, it is 100. Like I thought it was going to be more shooter than MOBA, and it is definitely more MOBA than shooter. And there are ways to even counteract the amount of shooter that you are experiencing.
Would you say it's are there heroes that don't shoot at all? They're like strictly melee heroes.
There's a werewolf who can go into werewolf form as their ult to do a lot of melee. You can melee as a button, as well as hold down the melee button to do a more powerful melee that'll lock you into an animation that makes it, kind of dangerous to use the heavy hitter. But for the most part, everyone's going to have some sort of shooting aspect. There are people who are more spellcaster-like. But even a magician who has a wand goes pew, 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 and then holds up his wand and it makes like a chick sound as like he reloads his freaking, magician's wand and then goes back into pew, 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 pew.
Okay. There are non-aiming heroes. Okay, so it sounds like everybody shoots somehow.
Yeah, everyone shoots in some degree, but you can invest yourself into being less shooty.
I'm fascinated to see how this progresses for you because you have a history of not enjoying shooting.
I mostly don't enjoy shooting real people because they move erratically and it's not as pleasurable. I do like shooting the robots and arc raiders because they're very predictable. And so, if I have a freaking hand cannon, I love hand cannons.
That's interesting.
And I like going, and that's where I know you stop. Bah, boom. that feels rewarding to me. But show me a bow guy like Hanzo, and someone's like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Just complete bullshit. I freaking hate that. But I have found characters in here that I respond to, and like the magician guy, he has the Rubik power from Dota, which is you steal the enemy's ult. So there's already a lot of like DNA in there that I just enjoy. There's a freaking sleepy cat is one of the heroes. Like you are a bedtime NyQuil cat whose power is you take a nap as like a hovering wisp around somebody. So
is it like a support role?
It's a support role.
Buff them, heal them.
Yeah. You become like part of them or something. I haven't really explored this character much, but it's a weird aesthetic. It's kind of like Cthulhu New York era, but there's a type of hero for everybody, and just like those go, that doesn't mean that the aesthetic is going to mean you're going to like them when you get in there. I might like some vampire girl. I think I'll like the werewolf lady. I think I love werewolf powers. I love avatars, so I think that'll be fun.
You were getting in a friendly fashion drug because apparently you were describing Rem, who is a rat, not a cat.
Oh, I said I didn't play them. I'm not insulted by my rodent / feline identification skills.
Hold on, I'm looking them up. Okay. I can see how you thought this was a cat.
Yeah. Plus, cats are way more sleepy than rats, so I think I'm in the right here. If I made an assumption,
he's a dream creature. He's not a real boy. Oh, thank you for the out, Ruoni. Thank you for the out. Appreciate you.
I can't believe you got in this chat and said he's not a real boy.
I like this art style. The gameplay, the Gray City isn't doing a whole lot for me. The individual characters, I really like how they look.
It is highly readable. I know that sounds kind of like a canned response a bit, but like, when a hero shows up, when the lane minions are there, what you should be shooting, and kind of like Halo 1. Yeah, this isn't the flashiest environment, but boy, do you know what you should be doing all the time. You should be doing the colorful things.
Chat's also saying they think the city looks a lot better now than what's on screen.
I'm gonna call that's fanboy energy because this looks just like me with 6 hours of gameplay have experience. I can't tell the difference between what I'm looking at from this year ago guide. So if it has improved, good for you.
All right, well, shoot me an invite because it's still invite only, and
I believe
when we have a quiet
spare
afternoon. When we have a quiet afternoon, get me in there. Let me take a look.
It is very much like I don't know what the actual game amount is because I'm only playing versus bots, so I figure my games are way longer. But it is a straight up, you will feel kind of like shit for the first 15 minutes kind of MOBA. And I think that's great. I think that feels nice. And one of the aspects I love most of MOBAs is the get to know your opponents during the shit phase and going, oh, you know, that move didn't kill me, but God, in 7 levels, that person's really good. Damn, I hope they don't know how to use the item shot because I'm going to get wrecked.
Oh, they have an ARAM? Daphne's in chat saying they have a mode called Street Brawl that's their ARAM. Oh, okay. I like that when I'm learning a new game like this, and to be fair, I have not learned a new game like this in a very long time. And when I was learning HOTS, we didn't have ARAM, so.
Yeah, that's the other thing about it, man. When you get in there, you'll see all the Valve usual stuff that makes it feel really well made and supported, like the watching a real replay at the same time. I think the biggest issue from esportsing Deadlock from the outside is we're going to be right in Overwatch territory, and I just think Overwatch just isn't fun to look at in terms of esports. It's hard to tell what's going on, and unless they really have like a special camera that can go up above and seamlessly work into very special. I know Overwatch tried this by like putting cameras in like corners so that you could be outside the character's view. I don't know how readable it's going to be as an esport if that's what they're going for in the end.
I agree. I never really loved watching Overwatch. I like Halo, but Halo's like football. Like, there's not as much diversity in what everyone can pull off. So I always found Halo like easy to follow visually. There's just a lot going on in Overwatch, and this looks like it would also have a lot going on.
It will have the benefit of something that Overwatch doesn't have, which is early game. You know, like you will get to know the players, you will get to see who's changing lanes, and the casters will be able to do that first 10 minutes. Oh, well, they pick so-and-so, and then that's all. I don't know any character names is why I'm saying a bunch of so-and-so shit.
That's anything with a character-based selection. Yeah.
Pocket. Right, Pocket? I know the guy on screen. I think he's named Pocket. I think they're named Pocket.
Is there a draft mode or anything?
For the playing against computers, you pick 4 characters, and then it just like, you basically say, hey, I'd be willing to play these 4 characters, and then it makes a team for you. So,
is it 4v4 not 5v5?
I believe it's 6v6.
Oh, you pick 4 characters.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 6v6. Okay. I guess that explains why they tried 4 lanes. Huh. Interesting. It's 6v6? Okay. You have to choose 3 heroes at minimum. Huh.
So I just picked one I think I like, one I had question marks about, and one who looked pretty. And I ended up getting the Magician, and I was actually pretty pleased with the randomness of that.
Who do you think looks pretty? And I'm going to look them up and judge you.
Well, I don't know their names, so let me get a Deadlock character list here.
Oh, for crying out loud.
They probably have a nice Deadlock character page. Dota had a really nice one, so there's probably a nice little menu.
I'll say so far Pint has sold me the best on this game by informing me that Wolf Lady exists because she looks so effing cool.
Yeah, and meleeing things with AoE is really, really nice.
There's a Wookiee, the good kind. I bet it's Mina, says chat.
Mina?
I'm Googling
Mina was the vampire lady that I'm interested in learning, yeah.
Is that the one you think looks pretty, or the one you're interested in learning?
The one I thought looked pretty was Silver, who is the werewolf. So yeah.
Then never mind. I agree.
Yeah. We got and then Rem was the other one I picked. I picked Pocket because I didn't know. I played them once like 2 years ago, and I fully understand Murky Bubbles. I fully understand ability that for the next 2 seconds I won't exist. That's OP. Like that's just so easy. You are being allowed.
Pocket's coat. Oh, Pocket's coat is cool.
Pocket's pretty sweet, and they have an evil briefcase, and it shoots evil lasers out of it. So their theme is great.
This definitely, God, this really has the character sauce.
I hear a lot of shit talk about Billy.
We have talked about Concord and Highguard today, and so yes, this does not look leagues away from Overwatch. Like they're very much doing the cartoony style, but man, these are some good character designs. Holy shit!
I mean, I know we just talked about like trying to put a finger on the pulse of 14, but I'm shocked. Like our chat's popping off. Like people know about this game. I haven't heard jack shit for 2 years since I tried this, and then
do we have a? Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna now just for our community, we're gonna get real insular here. Is there a Deadlock?
Is there a Deadlock part of the Discord in some
our Discord?
Have they made a secret underground?
Deadlock has been mentioned many times in the Discord. It does not appear to have its own channel. People are talking about it in the What Are You Playing channel, in the Warframe channel, in the Destiny 2 channel, in the Video Game News channel, in the Warframe channel again.
And so, like, and I think this is just
Rebecca, I believe, from Warframe, apparently streams Deadlock. So there you go. That's why it comes up in the Warframe
so it comes up in Warframe
channel a lot.
Yeah, that's I mean, heroes with abilities, right? In Warframe.
Yeah, y'all. There's a lot of people who like Deadlock.
I think it is so one of those that you're just going to have natural trepidations getting into it, but there's so much MOBA DNA here. Like, speaking of something you just want to support with your dollar, like I want this to exist because I want more MOBA, and the abilities are really cool, and it's not very cookie cutter. Like, not every single hero has a range damage ability, a survivability, a avatar form, and like it really, they're very diverse. But I can't speak to like the higher end. I don't know if there's a holy trinity. I know, like I think what's so weird about this is I've now been reverse algorithmed. All the time I'm learning about things I don't want to about the world due to algorithms, as it experiments on me and is like, hey, here's a really sad story you didn't need to know about. I'm like, thanks, internet. Really appreciate that. But the fact that there is a blossoming learn to play community on Deadlock happening on YouTube right now, and I didn't know anything about it, I feel betrayed. Why would you not share this with me? I own this game.
You've been deep in the Final Fantasy mines, my dude.
I've never put it in there, but why didn't it at least try? It tries all this weird shit on me all the time. Yeah, it didn't think I wanted to play a MOBA that I didn't know was currently popping off.
Well, you also watch a lot of Warhammer lore. You watch a bunch of stuff for your kiddos.
Oh yeah, I watch tons of shit.
Your YouTube algorithm is probably a fire. YouTube probably has no idea what to suggest you.
Algorithm, experiment more games on me. Just become more experimental in the video game department.
By the way, do not watch any Minecraft video on YouTube. If you do not want, you're recommended to be nuked with nothing but Minecraft. I watched a single Minecraft video and it's over, man. My recommended is ruined. YouTube's like, finally, we can show you some shit with millions of views. Enjoy.
We unleash it.
Yeah, YouTube's like, it's about time you watch something popular, you damn snowflake. Yeah, my recommended is just, it's ruined. It's absolutely ruined. It's over. Yeah. This looks, you're selling me, man. I would say you didn't have me in the first half, but you saved it on the back half.
Look at all this text. I thought people would. I know I want this, but I'm looking at one ability. Look how many words are here. Like, I thought we were done. I honestly, like, I am scared to become invested because I love these kind of games so much. And I thought we were just freaking over. Nobody wanted this anymore. But I think there's a lot of trust in the Valve property, and it's gaining momentum.
It's so nice to find something in a genre you love that you thought was abandoned. Like, I went through it with Final Fantasy 14. Like, I was just like, I'm not done with MMOs, but I think I'm done with the MMO I'm playing. And it was really nice. But like, And I'm still enjoying 14. I'd like another new MMO. I haven't really found one that I love. I had a fling with Guild Wars 1. I didn't get too deep into it. No one else played with me, which didn't help. I don't know. But nothing's made me feel older. I know I'm getting older. Generally speaking, doesn't bother me. Every once in a while, I hurt my back and it takes a little longer for it to feel good again. For the most part, I'm like, I'm good. Realizing that the video games I like to play are not popular anymore, and I'm not going to be buried under options. That has made me feel old. That's been the hardest to accept and try and figure out like how I'm going to navigate my hobbies.
I mean, you could be on the other aspect of the spectrum and still feel old. There's a lot of people who are playing shooters, playing, Arc Raiders every single night, who feel like they're becoming somebody's stepdad. Like they feel like they're unking, like they're in there being like, good job, boy. Real proud of you all. Oh, hey, thanks, mister. That was a great run. Yeah, no, we all did great. A great run, everybody. All right, let's, they got into play with their friends. Their friends stopped playing, and now they're just surrounded by a bunch of teenagers, and they're the encouraging, like, Mr. So-and-so in the after-school care, telling all these, these kids that they had a great time. So,
yeah.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is embrace it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fine. And dude, God, is it really... I love my car analogies. I feel like I haven't made one in a bit. Like, it really just makes me think of cars, man. Like, enthusiast vehicles, they don't make nearly as much of them as they used to. And a lot of the stuff that enthusiasts like are old. They're not new cars rolling off the line. Like, they're keeping the old shit alive and on the road. And it's how I feel about the games that I give a shit about right now. They're like the stuff I'm really passionate about has been around for a while. I mean, obviously, the MMOs, but like, dude, I had so much fun with Final Fantasy V. Holy freaking frick, man. Like, where was that game my whole life? And that's an old ass game.
Yeah, V was
from the
really
Super
good.
Nintendo, for crying out loud. Like, I loved it. Like, absolutely. I really liked 4, but I adored 5. Like, I'm going to be the 5 guy. When people talk, when I catch wind of Final Fantasy in my vicinity, from here until I'm in the grave, I'm going to scream at those people about 5 and how they should play it. So I'm going to be a 5 guy. I won't charge that much for burgers, chat. Don't worry. I promise. There's still a $1 level on the Patreon. Don't worry. We got you. Anyway, shall we take some questions for you? We put a lid on this.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get to Q&A.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
All right, everything I'm going to pull from Ask the Host today. Ask the Host channel. Everybody gets access to it if you support us in any way. Patreon, YouTube membership, Twitch subscription. No matter the level, you get access to those members-only channels in the Grinding Gear Discord. The Discord's open to everybody, but we have some perk channels for those of you that support us. Midnight Miko asks, given all the Pokemon excitement recently, I thought of a question for the host. What's something you absolutely loved as a kid, teen, young adult that you thought you would forever be a super fan of, but have just fallen off the wagon? Either you hate it or you just lost interest. For me, it's Pokemon. I had the cards. I played so many of the first generation games, traded with friends. I thought I'd be a fan forever, but I just fell off. I have nothing against it. All looks very cool, but my desire to engage beyond enjoying everyone else's enjoyment is nil.
I think that's a pretty good answer, because I thought we would just stick to 150 and just make better graphics over and over again. It's not my example, but that is what I believed at the time.
I remember vividly daydreaming, wishing, hoping to God for a 3D Pokemon game. Because, like, that originally came out when, like 3D was new. Like, N64, Mario coming out, blew my mind. Around that same time, I'm getting my Game Boy. Pokemon's coming out. I was so enthralled with the Pokemon world in Red. And I just was like, all I wanted was a 3D Pokemon game. I wanted to, like, run around in N64 graphics through, like, tall grass. And I guess be careful what you wish for, because Jesus, man, now I'm looking at winds and waves, and I'm like, that looks sick, but like I kind of just make a pixel game again. Like I long for the days. Just make the most beautiful top-down pixel-based Pokemon you possibly can. Throw every trick in the pixel art book at it. And I think I want that more than 3D. Even though I do think Winds and Waves looks good. It was definitely Pokemon for a bit, but now I'm quite interested in spending more time with Pokemon. I've got a Let's Go Pikachu save I'm working on right now. I'll probably go back to play Fire Red again at some point now that it's available on the Switch. But yeah, play Black and White. I know. I need to. I really need to. I need to finish Soul Silver as well. I need to play the other entire ass half of that game that happens after the credits, apparently. I'm trying to think. Because I still love Star Wars, and nothing will ever make me hate Star Wars. I was about to say, short of George Lucas coming and physically assaulting me, but even then, I'd probably like Star Wars, and then I'd have a really cool story about George Lucas punching me to tell it.
Yeah, pretty weird that he'd be involved anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely have bands. I definitely remember like some bands I listened to in my youth being like, I will love them forever. Now I'm like, boy, they really suck now. But I can't think of like a whole ass, like all encompassing thing. Like what burned me, or what did I fall off of entirely? Most things that like I really hate, I kind of hated out the gate. It's like I've mentioned many times how mad I was about Star Wars Force Unleashed. But that's because I bought it brand new and I thought it was a very bad game. But no, I still love Star Wars. Still love Star Wars. And not even getting into the creator side of the dramatic. I think I just don't give a shit about Harry Potter anymore. They're working on that new show, man, and like, even if I didn't think J.K. Rowling was an asshole, like I would not care. It's too soon. It's not that far from the movies. What are we doing?
That's just a weird one, because I think by the time the books finished, there was like 3 books in a row that I was the age of Harry. And so I will never lose that part of that experience. And how mad I was that he was mad he had to write a paper about werewolves when I had to write a paper about Tess the Dubervilles or something like that.
He was never my favorite character.
He wasn't, but he was your self-insert, and like for me, like I was his age and it was the perfect time. I have no reason to interact with that franchise now, and there's nothing they've ever done to encourage me to continue to wistfully believe in it, because I'm so done with school. Like I don't want to imagine being in school. Like there's no fantasy of like superhero high or wizard high or any of these that I have any joy for.
Was I a weirdo? Because I always like the teachers more anyway.
Well, that's
and I do. I love when I get to work with colleges, so maybe that's maybe that explains it. Maybe that explains that part of me.
And the teachers were more influential in the early parts of the stories, and later just fell off of the school part, which I agree with you was more interesting. Chat brought up Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh just got weird like that. For me, all I can think of is something that I feel like I just don't want to have change, which is Warcraft 3. I love Warcraft 3, and the parts of World of Warcraft that were most interesting to me will always be the Warcraft 3 parts. And I tried to play Warcraft 2, and I feel like a lot of the mining that Blizzard does for more lore is from, like, this is a character from Warcraft 2. I'm like, that game played like ass. Why would you ever do that? Like, Warcraft 3 was so amazing. So yeah, I think mine is just WoW lore. In terms of like how much I loved it and how much it moved away. Like, I don't think you can even experiment with me. That's all on me. Like it is WoW lore to me is Warcraft 3. And when it's not that, I feel so disconnected.
I do kind of look at it as like extended fan fiction at this point. Like, I know it's all canon and it's fine. And I really don't mean that as a put down. I'm sure some people are going to take it that way. But yeah, I beat World of Warcraft with Wrath of the Lich King. That was like, I got a really satisfying conclusion to a story I gave a lot of shits about. and I felt satisfied. I continued to play, and there's expansions for WoW I love dearly. I think Mists of Pandaria is amazing. Legion was really freaking cool. There's a lot of stuff in BFA I really enjoyed. But I'm with you. I don't really. It doesn't hit the same. I'm excited to do Midnight. Honestly, it snuck up on me. We don't have really room for it in the streaming schedule right now, which is a bit odd. And it's not entirely like a business decision, but like obviously if like people were beating down the doors for like, oh my God, please stream WoW, we would be doing it. So there's that as well. We would like make time, find time, but I kind of want to. I think I want to have a quiet experience with Midnight. I think I just want to kind of get through it at my own speed and not worry about the social experience of going through it. So you switch for Midnight so it doesn't mess with YouTube algorithm. It's not even that I'm really concerned about. You can take a stab every once in a while. Hardcore. The long running hardcore streams were kind of rough for the channel, but that's because we did it for like 3 months. I could barrel through Midnight probably in 2 streams. Like I don't think that would hurt the channel too much. But we don't stream on weekends and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's a good answer, Kyle. My point being, without getting the nitty gritty of it, that's a good answer on WoW. Yeah, probably Harry Potter. Yeah, it's like the only thing that's left is nostalgia. When it's on like around Thanksgiving, I'm like, oh, cool.
you share that with a lot of people, yeah.
Oh, it's intensely fall, man. Like it's just always freaking on. It's just on. And I'm like, yeah, I'll base my turkey to this. I don't base my turkey. I do the Alton Bound math, but you get the idea. You get the freaking idea. Yeah. What criteria does a game need to meet for you to get a new game system, Massian? With Pokopia and Winds and Waves being switched to, would that be enough to get if you don't already have one? Sounds like the answer is no for Kyle, or maybe a begrudging no, an angry, maybe a begrudging yes.
That one is so complicated. I'm part of the problem. The internet telling me Pokemon doesn't need good graphics to be a good game is part of the problem. Then why does it have to be on a different console? Like that's just a vengefulness I have. God, I think that question has gotten harder and harder every year because it used to look so dramatic. It used to be so amazing. And then, something like the Steam Deck comes out. It's like, do you want the games you already own with worse graphics? Yes, please.
Well, you're a dad. Convenience is a massive feature for you.
What is this? It's like 1300 by like 800. It's like a made up ratio for the Steam Deck too. Like they just like pulled it out of their ass and they're like, it's the game's problem if they're not verified. and I'm sitting there still saying, yes, please. Thank you so much for ruining my gaming visual experience. Now do it again.
I don't think there's anything wrong in realizing what you need as your own personal consumer. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think like with the PlayStation, it's a order of convenience, too. So yeah, I wish it was graphics. I wish it was easy. I wish it was the perfect VR headset that I must have. I feel like that's the one in my head. If they are just like, it has a camera inside that tracks your eyeballs and you'll never be motion sick. Oh my God. Next gen. I will buy it.
I think we can abandon VR as the next. I feel like that was a thing like 8 years ago. We were like, VR is going to be the next big. I think we're well past that at this point. Yeah. And again, to go back to the like, all the money is in your Fortnites and your Minecrafts and your Roblox. The things that are shaping the industry aren't even pushing tech. It's not pushing the tech. It's not.
No, they're accessible, right?
And I bet they're stoked right now with the memory crisis. They're just like, cool. A potato could run our games.
Yeah, absolutely.
So who cares?
Yeah.
Like they're further insulated. So yeah, I'm curious what the next big hit is. Like as we get older and like, who's under Gen Z? What are your kids? Gen Alpha?
I don't actually know. I assume since did we skip Z? Is there a Gen Zeta?
Are you What? Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
You forgot about Gen Z.
Oh, I thought we would at least say the word. Yeah, I guess we do call them Gen Z.
We felt just like we also called them Gen X.
Well, yeah, but we're millennials, so, I forgot there's a letter thing.
Well, we were lucky enough, Kyle, to be born in time for the millennium.
Of course.
I say lucky with heavy quotations.
Okay.
Heavy quotations. Again, I could go for some precedented times. I feel like I've been saying that for 2 decades.
I'm just saying, if you're going to laugh at 69, you got to laugh at 6'7". That's how it works.
I don't mind 6'7". I think 6'7's fun. My only issue with 6'7 is how common it comes up because it's 2 numbers in the order that they occur when counting.
It's very simple. It happens frequently, but that just means there's that much more joy
You have to
in your
try
life.
for 420. You have to try for 69. 6'7 is a thing that happens very regularly.
A broken clock farts twice a day. You might as well laugh, like let it ride. But
I explained 6'7 to Katie, and I'm also the reason she is sick of it.
I guess it's. Oh wait, we have Gen Beta. I guess we're
anyway. What gets you to buy a new console, Kyle? What gets you to buy a new console? Because I just buy new consoles. I like having new consoles. I'm the wrong person to ask this.
Yeah, really. I guess it just has games that I must have, and that's really weird to say in a world where.
Zian's joy in feeling like their question was answered lies on your shoulders, Kyle.
I guess it just has really good games that I gotta have, but it's hard to think of anything like that right now.
Kyle wants forced exclusivity to make him feel like his dollar was well spent.
Right? Like, yeah, exactly. That's so I will say, like, yeah.
Kyle wants to be lied to so that he doesn't feel bad for spending money.
That's it, That's it.
Yeah. What region of the world would you like your region of Pokemon to take place in or be inspired from? Since winds and waves are heavily Southeast Asia inspired, asks Astra. Ooh. I'd like a heavily swamp Pokemon. Obviously Florida swamp, but like you also go like New Orleans with it. You get real Louisiana with it. I think that would be sick. I'd be super into that. Canada theme. We got everything. That's you do have a lot of different biomes in Canada. I don't know where fire Pokemon would reside is the problem. What did they do with the last one? It was in like France, wasn't it? What did they do for fire Pokemon?
Yeah, it was Paris, right? Kind of Paris knockoff.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm starting to close in a little bit. Oh, yeah. I was having this thought the other night. I'm severely disappointed in the lack of Egypt in my life. The giant sparkle books in the library with all the little fold-outs taught me that I would always be thinking about Egypt my entire being. And I know that there's probably like all kinds of crazy reasons. Someone you have to pay to do an Egyptian theme. It's probably super complicated. But
what? No one owns a license on an entire region.
I bet you that you have to pay something. But then why did it stop?
The Pharaoh?
Why has there never been a God of War Egypt then? There must be some sort of precedent or fear that companies have to make good Egyptian properties.
Because there's 5 God of War games and only 2 of them have not been in Greece.
And they should have made Egypt already.
They've only changed locations once.
It's a history.
You're making it sound like it was Assassin's Creed and they were making a game every year.
It's so obvious. The fact that they did anything else but Egypt was stupid. Imagine. We travel to a world.
Oh, God.
The music starts playing. You know the music. Sand, over the hill, little dust. Pyramid revealed. People are worshiping Pokemon. It's a holy event. Battling them is the most sacred of pastimes. And the Pharaoh has recently passed. The throne is open for a Pokemaster to take the throne. Can you battle your way to become Pharaoh Pokemaster?
I was about to say it. Imarashi beat me to it. Kyle just wants Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh!
And what's wrong with that?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Already exists. You can just play Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's because there's so few Egyptian properties that you think I'm ripping off Yu-Gi-Oh! By even suggesting an Egyptian property.
Well, you're also surrounded by weebs. I for one, am an Assassin's Creed fan, so I could tell you could have played Assassin's Creed.
There's alien Pokemon, right? There's definitely alien Pokemon at this point. Your little UFO comes down, drops off a couple
As
of
someone
rare
who plays
Pokemon.
video games from the East and the West, I can tell you could have played Assassin's Creed Origins, Kyle.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Why didn't you?
Why didn't you? Because
Is it because you yourself are also a weeb, unless it's a MOBA?
That was one of the unfantastical ones, though, right? That was before they did the actual monsters in the game.
What are you talking about?
In Assassin's Creed Egypt, did you fight a mummy?
There's monsters in Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. Assassin's Creed eventually got like a little witchery and had like actual monsters in it. I believe their Greek one was full of monsters.
Oh. Well, that explains why I haven't played Assassin's Creed since they tried to FromSoft it.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I like running around historical buildings and climbing all over them and getting stuck on them from time to time, but no, I want to fight a mummy.
It sounds like DLCs for a lot of the newer ones got pretty fantastical. Okay, all right. Modern AC jumped. I mean, they keep doing it, so clearly it's successful. I miss the old Assassin's Creed days big time. You got your Tomb Kings and my Pokemon, said Sleepless One.
Yes, Tomb Kings. The Tomb Kings are Warhammer.
Oh, gotcha.
They're basically the Necron's fantasy version.
Is that Sigmar or I don't understand stuff that isn't 40K because every time I go to the local hobby store, I feel like they change the logo. Don't they have like Old World now?
Yeah, it's Old World because for some reason the Tomb Kings didn't make the cut because I think the Ossuary Bonosaurs were the ones who took it. Was the Ossuary Bonosaurs?
Bonosaurs?
I don't think that's what they're actually called. I think they're called like Ossuary somethings, but they're really cool. Like they challenge your understanding of what can be made out of a human body. In like a very interesting way.
Toxic Cat, I don't think your math checks out. Oh wait, there's a times in there. I thought that was all pluses. I'm like, no, that's third. Never mind. Okay. We're trying to get the 69 in Toxic Cat's super chat.
Well, and that's where we end the show.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. I gotta take this. We gotta take this one from Sam.
Okay.
This question's wild. What's your favorite game and your least favorite genre? One that you get the most enjoyment out of that you don't usually get joy out of as a genre. Oh, that is racking my brain.
Your favorite game and your least favorite genre.
I'm not even sure what my least favorite genre is. What's your least favorite genre, Kyle?
Least favorite makes it sound like I like actively hate it, but I think I'm gonna go with least played, and it was definitely Soul Calibur 2. Like you put weapons in fighters' hands, and it just makes sense that they're fighting.
Yeah. Probably Balatro. I really don't like deck builders. But I love Balatro. It's not a genre I enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's Soul Calibur 2. Just really like that one.
Yeah, Soul Calibur 2, Balatro. Yeah. Nobody hates Soul Calibur 2. You made You made Seven's very excited.
Excellent. I needed a win today.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, honestly, like I am shocked. Like I expected to get up here on my yo guys, I played this game. You may have never heard of it called Deadlock. I did not expect people to know what the shit I was talking about, nor correct me. I'm actually flabbergasted. This is awesome.
Yeah. I'm flabbergasted too, but I'll tell you why off air.
All right.
I don't want to get dogpiled again.
All right, let's go.
But you can feel free to dogpile us with support, which sounds dirtier than I meant it to sound. Just go to supportourbromance.com. I'm just going to stop talking. Thank you to our recent patrons, DJ Striker, Lower Expectations, and Scott B. And a huge thanks to our legendary level backers, Sean B., Lost Mythic, Sirvon, Comside Jedi, Bloodsy von Snucklegore, Evane, Shinigio, Jerry T., Sean and Jen, Vernacular Ham, Brom, Vasilius, Main Tank, Maisie, Pins and Needles, Janata, and Cat Wolf. Thank you very much. Also, check out doghouse.systems.com if you're in the market for a new gaming PC. Use the code BROMANCE and help us out and get some Steam games for your trouble. Again, that's doghouse.systems.com, code BROMANCE. I'm on social media at Garrett Art. Kyle isn't. You'll find him, but it's a lie. He doesn't post.
Nah.
And yeah, other than that, just follow us on YouTube at Grinding Gear. Follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/grinding_gear. We stream in both places. And subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. It's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Grinding Gear podcast. Until next time, GG.
Take care.
Oh, yeah.
Refreshing feed.
Refreshing feed. Oh, from Discord?
Yes.
So it's shit again?
It it fell behind a couple times, so we'll
wonderful. Love it. So happy to see that.
Yeah, we had a good week there.
I'm so glad that I went through a month of fighting with my ISP to get things fixed, and then for Discord to start working again, only for it to go right back to its bullshit.
Yeah, it worked great for Resident Evil, so at least we'll always have Resident Evil Part 2 to remember our good times.
Yep. I feel great. Doesn't stress me out knowing that. Nope, not at all. Not at all. Hey, thanks for the supers. We missed it, y'all. Right now, Imarashi, thank you for the super. On Kyle's Bloodborne hatred, did you boys see the article about Bluepoint Games Bloodborne stuff that came out after their shuttering this week? I didn't read deep into it because I respect FromSoft games. I am not like a raging FromSoft fan, and I've never played Bloodborne, so I don't really have a horse in the race, as it were. But yes, I did see that Bluepoint pitched Bloodborne, and FromSoft apparently shot it down. So I did see that a lot of people were not happy to hear that this week, but I didn't read any further than that. So if there's more details than that, I am unaware of them.
I mean, Bloodborne needs no remake is kind of my thought. We like to joke that I'm a hater, but honestly, I read it, and I also read that there was another person trying to do a Bloodborne like top down something or other, kind of, because essentially a lot of Bloodborne fans are like, fine, you've abandoned the property. It's cool if I make something right, and the company keeps being like, no, stop, no, that's not true. So they keep.
It's also just not how the world works.
No. So it's a weird. I don't know if it's like flexing, but it seems like a lot of fans say, well, fine, if you're not gonna respect the property, I'm gonna use it, and then they get shot down. Sometimes they do transform that into a property. The problem is once you lose the Bloodborne word, you're just another Cthulhu-like game, and no one really cares. So I think Bloodborne is amazing. I don't know why.
My limited understanding is that like people just want it to be easier to play because I don't think there's a PC version. And can you even like still easily buy it?
Yeah, you just buy it. It's a PlayStation 4 game though, so the frame rate, fidelity, or whatever is going to be PlayStation 4 quality. I believe the frames per second are like 32 or 30 as well, I should say. So when you do tell someone to go play it, they're often like, ew, gross. And the fandom would like that to stop happening, would be my assumption.
It is, if nothing else, it is the nice thing about playing older games on modern hardware is when they just at least uncap the frame rate. So you can buy it easily. Okay,
Yeah,
it's just locked
you
at
just
30
buy
FPS.
it.
Ah,
Yeah.
that is a bit lame. But
And it
it's
also,
not the end of the world.
no, but it's super weird because it's a great one of those. And as far as like, if you were doing a play every FromSoft, it is required because it's the bridge point that led to Sekiro, which led to Elden Ring. Like, it is a formative moment in their design choices.
Huh. Interesting. Thanks, RE9. I am now just waking up. Update. Cuddled the entire time. Now laying on feet.
Nice.
Damn, Claveman.
Nice.
That sounds cozy. Sounds very cozy. Gnostic, thanks for the 43 months. Catching up here on messages that were sent while we were podcasting. FemShep is best shep. Agreed.
I think you're in the right.
City Thunder, thank you for the 26 months. Honestly, we need more games like Resident Evil, focused, high quality, 10 to 20 hour experiences. It's what I want. That's what I want, and I will happily pay for it. But also, like, if you're not going to play it right now, I totally understand being in Kyle's camp of just like, well, if I'm not going to play it till later, I'll just buy it later, and maybe I'll save some money.
Yeah, there's so many facts. There's also like, and my kid wakes up, like, that's going to be a formative memory, like me hiding in the other room while my parents watch X-Files. But I don't want to play it a responsible 90 minutes a night and go to bed right after. It might be kind of scary if you have trouble falling asleep. I don't want to wear headphones while I play it. I want it to be freaking blasting.
That is to me, it sounds like one of the hardest part of parenting. Having to not have things that children shouldn't be exposed to, not playing out over speakers. That would be very hard. Also, not laughing at kids when they cuss. That has got to be a hard thing.
The funny,
it's got to be so difficult.
Dude, it was so good. Kristen was playing Baldur's Gate 3, in the living room on the Steam Deck. She has the volume up. No problem. Second she pulls up to Karlach, volume all the way down. I always know exactly when she's talking to Karlach because she
gets quiet. That's fantastic. That's so good. Oh my god. Oh, just Sony super freaky weird stories. Yeah, that's the OG marathon. That's what I'm told.
Yep.
It looks a little crusty. I don't think I would particularly enjoy my time with it. That's why I haven't returned to it. I struggle with older shooters, even ones that I love, like the OG Half-Life. They play a little rough.
I played so much Quake 2000. Was that the one? Quake 2000 had the vehicles and all that. That was good. That was LAN party fuel.
I never got into that corner of the internet. I was more of a Counter-Strike kid.
No, Unreal.
Like
was it Unreal? I think that was what I got confused by.
I'm the wrong person to ask. I couldn't tell you the difference between the two of them. I think I own Black Mesa, but I haven't played it. I played Half-Life 1 so many times. I beat that game so many freaking times. That even by the time Black Mesa came out, I was like, I think I'm okay. But I think I did pick it up on a sale. I'm pretty sure I own that. No. If you put Grace in her FBI costume and Leon in the film noir suit, it makes it look like you're playing through an episode of the X-Files. Oh, shit. Clayton.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I'd be into that. I would frickin' be into that. Oh, I think they're officially moving forward with that new X-Files.
Recast, or what are they doing?
I don't know about the cast, because it's Ryan Coogler of Black Panther fame is taking it on.
Okay.
I like his stuff. He's a huge fan, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a reboot they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the cast. Looks like, yeah, new cast.
Okay.
New cast. Okay. Still gonna watch it. Did you ever see Sinners?
Did I see Sinners? That was the
vampire movie.
No, I didn't. I actually completely forgot that existed. I wanted to really bad.
That's a shame. streaming somewhere. Forget where it's at right now. You might have unfettered access to it depending on what you're sub to right now. It's somewhere. It's really freaking good. Really freaking good. Although, kind of same challenge as you wanting to play Resident Evil. It's, 2 hours? And boy, you should let yourself get lost in that movie.
Oh,
it's a
this,
good time.
yeah, I remember this one. This is the one that's like the first half of the movie's false or something like that. So I just...
That's a weird way to put it.
I heard it was
a very weird way to put it.
I heard it was like Dusk Till Dawn in that kind of way.
There's a clear line of demarcation for sure.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. But the whole movie is a whole movie. It's an experience. Yeah. It's not It's not like it's not pulling something on you.
No, I didn't think it was tricking me. It was more that our reservation was we didn't want to watch the first half and miss out on the second half having to wait a night. So yeah. Taking us.
Well, maybe it would work for you then, because there is a very clear midpoint.
Yeah, just set yourself up for that.
Just treat it like a 2-episode mini series. Righto, right now, thanks for 10 months. Finally caught up on stream. RE9 was great. Do recommend if you like RE2 remake, RE4 remake, or RE7. Also, Old Unreal exists and is blessed by Epic. Oh, cool.
Old Unreal?
Rogue Mage Super. Just got back from the hospital. 5-year-old had surgery to fix severely crossed eyes this morning. I hope Kyle's kids never need corrective surgeries. It's such an ordeal.
Oh, damn. Sorry your little one's going through that, but I hope it all worked out well. That sounds important and mentally exhausting. I hope you're doing well.
It sounds intense.
Yeah.
Hope it goes smooth for him. I had 2 fairly serious surgeries that had me in the hospital as a kid. I didn't love it, but I made it through. Well, best of luck to you, Rogue Mage. Hope your kiddo does well. Yeah, I'm just thinking about. I've heard ice cream has gotten better at the hospitals.
Oh yeah, food kick ass at the hospitals, man. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom just went in for knee surgery, and I talked to her like hours after her surgery, which was so funny. She was clearly on painkillers. It was very obvious, and it was very amusing. But she would not stop raving about the food. And then I talked to Dad, who was not on painkillers, and he's like, "Yeah, the food's surprisingly good."
Yeah, they have adjusted your expectations, and I can't imagine the past, man. When you had to share rooms at a hospital, that sounds so weird. I know there's a lot of like the banks wanted us to have 2 rents. That's why we kick people out of their house at 18 kind of vibes in the air right now. But oh my God, I do not want to share a hospital room so bad. I'm happy for that modern adjustment.
Yeah. I know you watch new Scrubs. Would you recommend the watch? Dark Rocks. I would definitely recommend it if you like Scrubs. I think if you don't like Scrubs, it's very much Scrubs.
Yeah, that's very much a brand.
If you like Scrubs, I was so primed to hate it. I read a Variety review beforehand that called it, and I quote, millennial slop.
Huh.
And I was like, oh no. Because I don't really like member berries. They, for the most part, annoy me. Like I don't derive a lot of joy from I recognize the thing. I would smash cut right now to me freaking out from that final Resident Evil trailer where Leon pulled up to the location from Resident Evil 2 because I'm still susceptible to deriving joy from I recognize that thing. But like I get really annoyed when they do it in Star Wars. Scene where they bump into the characters from the bar, from the cantina scene in Rogue One. I audibly cussed at the screen in the theater because I felt so disrespected. Like, do you think I'm the dumbest idiot on the planet?
Damn, I
don't need that. I really don't need that. But yeah, it depends on the thing and how it's. But there's a little bit of member berries in the first episode. But I think it's still really effective. And the characters have gone on journeys when you meet them in that first episode. And that's really kind of all I was hoping for. And then episode 2, like it feels like its own thing. And I really like the new cast. They hold their own against the Scrubs alumni that are, returning. Not everyone's back. There's a glaring missing character, in my opinion.
Did they not get Cox?
No, Cox came back, but he's just a guest star. He's not on every episode. He will. They said he'll be going in and out. He's not a regular cast member. I will say the reason for his exit at the end of episode 1, I really enjoyed, and I think is what makes it strong. But yeah, the janitor is not in it. And
is he okay? Does he?
Apparently it's scheduling issues.
Oh,
he's in. I haven't seen the show. There's a show called Shrinking, I believe. With
Shrinking's
Ford.
huge. Yeah.
Is it? Have you seen it? Is it good? Should I watch it?
My parents put on an episode, and I was pretty bored. But
okay, because it's the same creator of Scrubs that is doing Shrinking.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Todd looks old. The whole cast. Well, no, that's not true. Turk and Carla look incredible. They don't look like they've aged a day. The rest of the cast, they look like they've aged 100%. But that's what happens, and that's fine. That's part of like what revival series are about. It's kind of, I think a revival series is bad if it doesn't try and contend with the change in age. There were a couple lame, didn't work for me, old age jokes, but there were also a lot of things in the first couple episodes that play off of the fact that they're further in their careers that I thought was good. I thought was like decent, comedy script writing. So I think it was absolutely amazing. But like, yeah, I don't know. I was really expecting it to suck, and I watched it. And I was like, damn, this is really good. I feel like they tried. I feel like they're doing smart things with the characters. It's comfortable while still pushing, a comedy in an interesting direction. So I enjoyed it. I really like the original run of Scrubs is one of my favorite TV shows. So I was pretty guarded because I was like, oh, this looks like the trailer is just like, look at Turk and JD doing all the things you remember from Scrubs, but now they're old. Lol. And
I wonder how much
like crap.
I mean, honestly, those commercials added a lot of continuity for me, so I feel like it's not that out of left field.
Yeah. Plus, they've been doing the real life actors have been doing a podcast together for quite some time.
Oh, sick!
So,
yeah. It's like I assume
Yeah,
that we're gonna get a Mary and Pippin sequel someday because those guys just keep hanging out.
They have a travel show and it's amazing. They have a travel show and it's really freaking good. You should watch their travel show,
dude. Izzard's coming to town to do all of Hamlet solo, and I can't go see it because of the scheduling issue. But oh my god,
I saw that. Tickets are not cheap.
No,
it's a little over my pain threshold
Yeah.
for. I'll go see that, but yeah, it's a little.
Yeah,
over
we
it.
debated it to see if we could pull it off.
Yeah, there's some concerts this year we really want to go to. So we're like, I think our live show ticket budget is called for. But yeah, I'd love to go see Izzard. Oh my god, she's just freaking wonderful. What's going on here? Let's see here. We need a shark carbuncle emote for this channel. Oh my god, and then
it's been added in the.
It's been made.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Thank you, mods.
Yeah.
Get that on the channel now.
We might have to throw something to the wolves. So everyone here, which emote you think can go? I think I see some. I think I see some oddball ones that can probably move along.
Yeah. Oh my God. Sunny Thunder, thanks for the super earlier. I can't handle another live service game trying to get $20 every few weeks for some battle pass and then trying to get me to buy cosmetics. I already have Nikkei, Marvel Rivals, and Helldivers. Yeah. I feel you. I will say, at this point, I just tend to not spend money on that shit. Like, I'm playing Arc Raiders right now, and there's skins I would like, but I'm not going to buy their premium currency. It's like I already bought the game. Helldivers, it was a game that I did pay for. I liked their battle passes though because there was just no rush whatsoever to get through them. I'm not familiar with how Rivals or Nikkei does theirs, but yeah, too many live services games buying from a wallet.
Yeah, I also just like being a part of something. So live service is a very easy thing to hitch my boat to. That's the problem.
Genius Mutant said, yes, the earliest of us. Loved that game. That's what we should officially start calling the first version of The Last of Us that you can buy that comes out at the very end of the current PlayStation with a low frame rate. And right around the corner on the next PlayStation will be a re-release that will perform a lot better. We should just call that the earliest of us edition. Yeah. City Thunder. Yes, I read 2 books. Pulls out leather-bound collector's edition of Berserk. Hell yeah.
Exactly, right?
I want that whole set. It's a lot of money, but I want it. I really freaking want it. Edward wanted to inform us that This Is Thancred is in the cast for Crimson Desert.
Okay.
I love that you wrote it that way. You could have just said Thancred's voice actor, but instead you entertained me.
This is
that I appreciate it.
Gotta make sure it's clear.
Dot Super, as you know, Garrett, it's been a good weekend for me in gaming bangers with RE9, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Gen 10. Yeah. I could tell you were excited. I've been reading up on like subreddits about people being like listing how many times they've restarted Fire Red trying to get a shiny starter. And I'm just like, new Pokemon fans are built different, man.
Wow. That's
like I am just not about the shiny hunt life.
That's intense.
It is intense. Like that's nuts to me.
Like I'll restart for a good affix or something, or but that's
yeah. Restarting for shiny that is a level of dedication. Like, yeah. I think I made it all the way through Fire and Leaf without even knowing shinies were a thing back when they originally came out. Because I remember playing those in high school. I don't remember ever even knowing about shinies.
There we go. It's uploaded.
What? Oh, Shocked Carbuncle?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell freaking yeah. Original Scrubs is goated. I'm hesitant for the new one. I think if you like the original Scrubs, I think you'll enjoy the new one. That's my TLDR now. Yeah. I think he'll have a good job. Shrinking is huge. Out of context, reads really funny. You're not wrong, Nightshade. You are not wrong.
That would be what, Boomer Slop? Yeah, it's Boomer Slop.
Is it Boomer? I guess Harrison Ford's in it, but Harrison Ford is also Millennial Slop. Millennial Bait.
To me, the shrinking crowd is the exact same crowd that watched that Yellowstone, I think it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my parents love Yellowstone. Huge Yellowstone fans. Where did I leave off? I just need to find the 69 Super from Toxicat. There we go. That's where I left off. We're getting into this is just straight up after show because we read a lot of these in the moment. Yeah. Oh, thanks everybody. Oh my God, look at the Shocked Carbuncles just come flying in. Hell yeah. If we didn't get to your question and ask the host, I'll try and grab them for a future week. Let me just see if any of them are pertaining to after show yappage. We were asked if we played any of the Pokemon spin-offs. I don't think you and I have you played any Pokemon spin-offs, Kyle?
Snap. I love the original Snap.
Oh yeah, I forgot about like really early stage spin-offs. Yeah, I played them all. I had Pokemon Pinball, I had Snap, I had Coliseum. I played all of those. Yeah, but since then, no. Like nothing too new. Just for shits, I I emailed the pinball game company to see if there are any allocations for the Pokemon pinball game that's coming out soon. They're finally making like a real honest to God physical Pokemon pinball table.
Okay.
Do you hear about this?
No.
They're selling a $13,000 edition you can just buy and they'll just send it to your home.
What?
And I was just like, I wonder if you can even get an allocation for these anymore. I probably wouldn't take it if I got it. But also I was like kind of thinking about it. I'm like, I could scrounge that up and I could probably hawk it off again. That was a real intrusive thought. Wow. I was like, okay, first I had 2 thoughts. One, which was I could probably just resell it. It'd probably clear a few grand. My second thought was, I bet a straight up pornographic video, deep dive with nice camera and lenses. Like, here's every detail on the Pokemon pinball machine. I bet that would make its money back in ad rev.
13,000, you said?
I bet you whoever is the first person to put a Pokemon pinball machine deep dive video out on YouTube is going to just
you might not be wrong.
Views.
Yeah, you might not be wrong.
Yeah, I think you could absolutely make a case for, I'm going to buy and make a video about it, but I think you need to be first. I think you need to be first is the only problem. Get technology connections on the phone using the pinball machines. Is this how I finally get my technology connections collab?
That's how you do it.
You think
you got to own the Pokemon
technology
machine.
connections would collab with me if I own the Pokemon machine? Do you think I can use the same strategy as unpopular kids in school that had all of the gaming consoles? That you can have people come over to your house because you have the cool shit.
Yeah, it worked on me for sure.
I liked liking my friends too much. I would not hang out with someone I didn't enjoy just because they had consoles I wanted to play.
You didn't go to after school care though, right?
Only once or twice because really had to because my parents ran the business out of their home. Like it was almost always.
Yeah, that's
at least mom was home.
That's the deciding factor is you were either stuck at school or you got to go to a kind of weird kid's house and play video games.
Yeah. No, eventually I had after school stuff, but it was usually it was guitar lessons or something like that. I really liked being stuck in after school care. It was fun. That's where all the Pokemon nerds were with the Game Boys. That was a good time, but it was very rare. Das, thanks for the super. Stayed up till 6 a.m. playing RE9, and then for the Pokemon Presents, odds for a shiny in Fire Red Leaf Green is 1 in over 8,000.
Oh my god.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is great. I've heard good things about Mystery Dungeon.
I've heard a lot about it too over the years.
Yeah, in my limited time as an older person, I've pretty much sworn off Pokemon offshoots because I don't even have time for mainline, but I kind of want to start getting back into mainline Pokemon. But Pokopia just looks good. It just looks so freaking well done. I think I'm gonna pick it up. I don't know when I'm gonna play it because Katie's really enjoying Minecraft right now, and I should probably be there to stoke that fire for her in the evenings.
Get that time together.
When that runs out, I think I'll move on to Pokopia. So, yeah. We should take this one from Kuroka. I know we're in the after show, Kyle, but there's a time limit on this one, and it's in the Ask the Host.
Okay.
What are your expectations going to MGS? What knowledge do you already have going in, and what are you hoping to get out of it? Would you try and squeeze the sequel into your schedule if you find you like it? Maybe not the original initial immediate schedule because we're both excited to start Final Fantasy VI, and the big I like having a little something in between the Final Fantasies because I've talked in the past about going from 2 to 3. It was just kind of hard to reset my brain, but really it just came down to we have travel coming up and FanFest. And the big kicker for me, which was to push it a little bit, was so that we don't have what would probably be the final week of Final Fantasy VI fall on FanFest week. So instead, it'll kind of be right in the middle of a Final Fantasy VI playthrough, which we think would be less obnoxious to viewers. So, we're not going to push it any further because that would cause even more issues. Because then we would have to start it after FanFest, and that would be I don't want to wait that long. So, very good chance we'll play MGS2. I would like to play MGS2. But what do I already know about it? I have vague offshoot things. I'm aware of Snake and Big Boss, but I don't really know the deeper lore of it or why they look like each other or any of that kind of stuff. I think number one is the Psycho Mantis game. I know Psycho Mantis is infamous. I don't know why. I don't know a lot about Metal Gear Solid 1. That's the level in Smash Brothers, right?
Well, where the Metal Gear breaks through the walls, I assume.
The Metal Gear level in Smash Brothers is based on a location in MGS1, correct?
I think this is the snowy one, yes.
I'm giving chat permission to confirm or deny that. Yeah, Shadow Moses, right? Is Shadow Moses is MGS1?
Is that the name of the robot?
Yes? Okay, cool. All right,
sick.
So I know that.
Something?
I know at some point we're going to end up at something that looks like Shadow Moses. So,
yeah, I have no idea.
That's kind of it.
That's
I don't
all
really
I know.
much about about 1. I know more about 2 because I saw a little. I played the demo because I had Zone of the Enders, and I was over at my buddy's while he was playing it once. And it's what Raiden, I think, was like the surprise second character you play through. I know that annoyed a lot of people. Why were we doing that, by the way? But the Arbiter in Halo 2 was a similar type thing where people were like, "What do you mean I'm not playing as Chief?" But that's it. Like, I don't really know the deeper story of it. And I know it all leads to 2 old men beating the shit out of each other on a submarine at some point.
I don't even know that
why.
much. The quote, "a weapon to surpass the Metal Gear," was what I looked at it for, because I heard that and I'm like, that's freaking sick. What's happening
Sick
in
quote.
there? And I've never once seen anybody driving a robot in Metal Gear. for all the quote lifting that does to make robots sound awesome, it seems like there are no robots in this game, and they're not that important. That's what I know.
Yeah. My Metal Gear Solid, or my Metal Gear knowledge is like extremely fragmented. It's almost exclusively osmosis. I even remember being over at another buddy, completely different friends, during Metal Gear Solid 3. And he was like always playing it, but I felt like he was just always like in the bush, eating snakes. And I didn't get any sense really of what was happening in the story. So
Snake eater, I guess, right? Like, I didn't know it was that literal.
this is the same friend too that, like, the day before I got to the end of Devil May Cry 3, I went over to his house and he was at the end of Devil May Cry 3 and he refused to stop playing. And I'm just like, you bastard, I'm going to beat this thing tomorrow. I came over to hang out. How dare you?
Rude ass friend.
But,
yeah, I'm gonna set that up right now. I gotta move some wires.
you got to move some wires.
I got shit to plug in.
You got shit to plug in.
Yeah.
Sick. I think we got all the direct questions from Ask the Hosts. We don't always try to get them all, but we were close. So I wanted to get there. I hope you all caught it, even if it was in the after show. And we will see you tomorrow for Metal Gear Solid, the OG, played on an actual PlayStation 1 with an actual PlayStation 1 controller. By the way, did you try the memory card? Does the memory card work?
That's what I need to plug in right now.
Okay, please. Oh, well, if it doesn't, we're in trouble.
Yeah, well, we're just going to leave it on.
There's nothing we can do about it between today and tomorrow.
We'll go buy one.
Where are you going to go buy a PlayStation?
We're going to buy it on Amazon. I'm going to leave it on like I did for Cruising USA for a whole weekend, you know?
That's actually that is a solution. All right, y'all. See y'all. This is fun. Good talking with you. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Metal Gear. Here we go.